Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Hey, we got numbers.
Hey, guys, welcome to ClevelandMoto Podcast number 537. Light 'em up, boys.
Hey, wait.
It's delightful.
Don't you have a sound for that?
Oh, it is so good. And, yay, there was much rejoicing. And here we are, live from the salubrious confines of the Ratskeller in Cleveland, Ohio. To my immediate left, we have...
Dan Kromke.
And to his immediate left, we have...
Marshall Thompson.
Hey, a new guy. Yay. And to his left behind the boards...
Steve Sleepy.
And to his left...
Johnny Mac.
And to his left...
Speedy Pete.
Coming around the corner...
Shanky Smith.
And behind the bar...
Tom Pennington.
Yay! It's a full house. So big news. It's still fucking freezing in Cleveland. So I hope you guys weren't planning on moving here anytime in the near future.
What are you talking about? It was a balmy 23 degrees
It
today.
was. It was so weird that yesterday I was like, it's sunny out. It's not that cold. And I went out and I did stuff and I was like, oh, it's really nice out. I was like, it's 24.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, damn it.
It's better than the negative 14.
I noticed on the way home this evening that the sun was out long enough to thaw a lot of the snow.
Oh, okay.
And it ran into the street. All the water ran into the street. And then it flash froze as soon as the sun went down.
Yes, that's a thing that happens. Yeah, that is a guaranteed
So, little
that shit
slick.
could happen.
Everybody's gutters are exploding right now.
Oh yeah. I saw Tom's got 8-foot long death sickles hanging on for dear life. It's like the gutters are going.
Once it makes it to the ground, it's all good.
Right. Is just come on, guys.
Then it's structural.
4 feet, right? 4 feet more, and then it's purely structural. We have no problem with that. I promise. It's going to be okay. Just kind of. What happened, Sleepy?
I didn't have this camera angle up, and somebody moved the camera, and it's in the angle.
What's in the angle?
The other camera.
Oh, look at that. Hey, there's a camera up there. Check it out.
Hey, who's running this show?
It's that one right there. Hold on, let me move it.
Blocks out Pete.
All right, give me a second. Let me move that camera.
That's funny.
It'll be worth it.
Yeah, that's funny.
Y'all keep yourself busy.
Now put that camera angle on so we can see where it's pointing.
Well, it's Phil's camera, so yeah, just move it straight back. That's all you got to do. Somebody must have moved it just a little bit, so that's it. You're not going to hurt anything. Just move it straight back.
Okay, just move a little bit to the left.
There we go.
To the right.
That's fine. That's fine.
Okay, now you move the other camera.
No, you're fine. You're fine. That's fine.
Phil, lift your left foot.
That's sort of the problem with the basement also being a live workspace.
There we go. All right.
Hey,
now we don't have a camera right in the middle of our shot.
Oh, that's pretty funny.
Yeah,
that was hilarious.
I missed that one. I don't know how
what a
that
very
happened.
small change that made. So now you shouldn't have to be forced to see how the sausage is made under any circumstances. And here's the weird thing. I know we've been talking a lot about, the shop's dead. You know, we've had the lights off. We've kept the door locked. In fact, the truck that we used to block the door hasn't moved. It's been in front of the goddamn door. We've been blocking consistently. And the funny part is, the other day I had a weird feeling that we were going to have a customer. When I came in on Tuesday, I was like, I think we're going to have a customer today. So I moved the truck, turned the lights on, and wouldn't you know, 2 people pop up. And 2 people pop in, and they bought a bike.
hey.
Oh, well, that's pretty cool.
Wowee.
That was really neat.
And how it was like negative 12?
It was super cold, right? Yeah, it was super cold. But they came in, and they came up from, 100 miles away to buy a bike.
What did we sell?
We sold a Buddy Kick 125, brand new. And so that was cool. I did not expect that to happen. And so they were, okay, this is great. This is a cool thing. We're doing this. And then we had a customer come in that had his bike in winter storage and came in and said, hey, what are the rules if my bike is in winter storage and I want to trade it in and buy my wife a shorter bike? I was like, well, the rules are I will sell you a shorter bike and that will be how we do this. And he goes, okay, great. Well, he's got a Vespa in winter storage, but his wife is a short person. And she said she'll be in the game. So we sold another Buddy 125. I was like, well, this is crazy. This is just absolutely cuckoo.
Got to move the truck more often.
I move the truck more often. And then Tuesday, which is yesterday, I had this we're on a roll now, right? So, Tuesday, I'm like, we got to have something happening. It's going to be okay. We're going to sell something. It's going to be great. And a gentleman calls in, sure as hell over the telephone, buys a Vespa scooter over the telephone. Well, that's pretty awesome.
Hell
cool.
yeah.
Sold a bike over the telephone.
Maybe people are getting their tax refunds? No?
No,
Too
it's
early
just
for that.
they've had enough of the winter.
Yeah.
They've had enough of the winter.
I think you're manifesting sales.
We were in the deep freeze.
Can you put some knobbies on it? For
Right. We were in the deep freeze for so
tires.
long
Yeah.
that they were just coming out. And then today we had a gentleman come in and buy another Vespa just before Marshall got there. So when Marshall got there, we were wrapping up the deal. So we sold
I thought you were
four.
gonna sell a dirt bike to that kid too.
Oh, well, the kid's, he's 12, right? So he's 12, but I think daddy will buy him whatever he wants. So it was really funny. It was a really good experience to sell 4 bikes in 2 days.
I was
Is our
waiting
ultimate
for
goal.
Marshall, but then I left whenever the guy came to buy the bike. So
John and I went outside to have a cigarette, and the guy shows up and his kid jumps out of the car, and he goes, "Yeah, I called you about that black Vespa." And I was like, "Oh shit, I'm not smoking this cigarette. Like, I'm going in to sell this guy a bike." And he changed his mind. He did buy the red Vespa, so he went from the black Vespa to the red Vespa.
Well, at least you didn't waste the smoke.
no, sir.
This is true. No waste there at all. And he got it nicely accessorized. So that's really cool. I'm very happy about that. So selling 4 bikes in 2 days in this time of the year is just insane. That's great. So it was good. And we also sold a bike on Saturday as well. So we've had a pretty good run. So and I'm 100% certain that is pent up, being cold for too long. We have to get out of the house. We have to do some retail therapy. And I think that's exactly what happened in this case. And the other bike that I sold, I said 4 in 2 days. We have a gentleman that we sold a Liberty 150 to, which is a very fine scooter. I have no complaints about the Piaggio Liberty 150.
It's one of my favorites.
It's virtually unkillable. He bought the bike. He lives down south of Youngstown in a more rural area. And his bike, although the bike has a top speed of probably 64 miles an hour, he doesn't find that's adequate on the farm roads that he lives on. So he came in today and traded that bike in with 300 miles on it on the BV 400. So yeah, right? Let's do that. Let's keep doing that. So he was cool. I think he said he was 78 years old. And he was funny. He goes, "I got to be your oldest customer." And Renee's like, "You're not even close." I'm sorry, sir. You came to where old white guys buy bikes. You are not even, you got to be over 80 to be in the running to be our oldest customer. We've got people that are in their 80s that like bought a fresh Vespa last year. They have a very good long outlook. So yeah, it was fun. It was fun to be back in that mindset, back into that groove. And today, when Marshall came up today, I was prepping our Moto Guzzi V100S Mandello. God, because I was prepping that bike, and because I've got a gentleman coming in tomorrow that wants to have a closer look at that. So that's cool. Yep. And I had a really cool guy come in and look at the Vittore, and he's back and forth between the CF Moto and the Moto Morini Vittore 450. And so he came in yesterday, crawled all over the Vittore, and I was like, "Look, man, you've been here for 2 hours. There's nothing else I can tell you. If you're not buying this bike, you're not buying anything.
Well,
it's $64.99.
The easiest way to get somebody to decide whether or not they want the CF Moto or the Vittore is you put the Vittore on the center stand.
Right, exactly.
Try to do that with the CF Moto.
Here's something you can't do with the CF Moto is put it on the center stand because it doesn't have one.
Isn't there like 6 different things though on the Vittore?
Oh no, but that's the easy one because right
Suspension's
there,
better.
More bag for your
the
buck.
center stand's going to be $300 to put onto the CF Moto.
Yeah, and the suspension on the Vittore is 100% adjustable in every possible way.
Yep. And the handlebars are completely adjustable 6 ways, front to back.
It's a cool bike.
Oh, I'm saving. I got half of it saved.
Right
I'm
on.
not kidding. I'm
right on.
I'm buying one.
Right on, man. Like, so that was one of those deals where I was like, "Look, I've done everything I can do. If you're not reaching for your wallet at this point, then you weren't really going to buy a bike anyway.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. We don't know what's going to happen with him. Again, he might now say, "Oh, well, I want to see the Benelli so-and-so." He might just be kicking the can down the line so he can perpetually be shopping for a bike, but never actually buying a bike. That happens. We've seen that happen before. It's not the weirdest thing in the world, but it's a thing. But it's just really good to have people in the shop again. It's nice because for a while there, Renee and I were starting to get the whole like, "I don't think we're ever going to sell another bike." It happens every year. She gets in this funk where she's like, "I just don't think we're ever going to sell another bike."
I suspect that you have run out of conspiracy theories and scandals to run past. At this point.
we generally, a big part of our job is that we'll be, we sit in separate offices about 20 feet apart from each other. And so Renee will yell, "Did you see this thing about the whatever?" Because she'll get distracted by a bright, shiny object on social media or something. And I'll be like, "Yeah. Well, what do you think about that?" Oh, boy. Here we go. And that's what happens. And when that happens, I'm like, yeah, you shouldn't be doing that. We got to get back to work because deep dives are dangerous, man. Deep dives are super, super duper dangerous. Anybody ride any motorcycles this week? Anybody?
No.
No chance. No fucking chance. I didn't even have any fun pushing a snowblower around.
I've been doing a lot of wrenching.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Steve says hi from Charlotte. Hi, Charlotte.
We've had about a lot of people saying hi, so hi everybody.
Hi. Hi, everybody. I don't actually see, so from where I'm sitting, I can't see the feed.
I did start my bikes up, and next week's going to be a good time because the weather's going to get up into the almost 40s.
Yeah.
So open your garage door.
Good day to open your garage door and fire them all up.
Fire your bikes up.
So speaking of, a lot of us went to the Triumph thing.
Yeah.
So a lot of us went to the Triumph thing, and it was better than I thought because it was catered by Hatfields, which give me their macaroni and cheese any day of the week. I am a happy camper. That made my day.
Everything there was
I don't
good.
care for the sweet cheese.
I love it. I love the brown sugar maple. Brown sugar maple macaroni and cheese is hitting me right where I live.
I skipped the mac and cheese, and now I'm glad I did.
Oh,
Yeah,
I like cheesy cheese.
Yeah, me too.
I don't the savory, not the sweet.
yeah, I'm with you, John.
I love sweets.
yeah, I get
but
it.
not with my man.
Yeah,
So-
I'm guilty of that.
Anything shock you guys? Anything go,
Well,
wow?
So
Dan, did you buy that scrambler yet?
Not yet. Waiting for a used one that's all tricked out already.
which one do you want to buy?
The
yellow
Scrambler XC, the yellow one with the
The
little-
400?
Right. Yeah.
Oh.
Dan, you didn't see Dan over there masturbating
I
on that
saw
thing?
him on it. Yeah, I saw him checking it out. But I didn't know you were in the market for a 400cc bike. Wow, cool. Yeah, that bike looks great. That Triumph 400X, that thing's beautiful.
The whole 400 lineup looked good.
It did.
Yeah,
and
the tracker looked really good too.
I like
Yeah.
the tracker.
yeah,
Yep.
but here's the trick. We put Merit on the tracker and we put Merit on the Thruxton. Because they said there's no more Thruxtons. Last year they said there's no more Thruxtons.
Well, there's a Thruxton 400.
Well, they should have specified there's not going to be a Thruxton 900 or a Thruxton 1200 because there is damn sure.
Well, no, that the Thruxton is actually going to become the Bonneville Speed Twin or the one that we looked at last week.
That Speed Twin RS.
Yeah, which is a Thruxton.
Which is a Thruxton. So when they unveiled the 400, and you can throw it up if you want, Sleepy. When they unveiled the 400, I think we all collectively went, oh.
I don't like
And-
the big graphic on the tank,
Yeah.
but
yeah.
the lines of the
I don't
bike
mind
are
it.
nice.
Well, there's different graphics. I mean, there were different styles of those, weren't? Well, no, they all said,
Yeah. And Merritt went over and sat on it. And she went over and sat on it. And she's been like, anytime Merritt rides a motorcycle these days, we haven't cleaned Merritt's carburetor in her GB500 in about 5 or 6 years. So, we force her to ride V7s. So poor child, right? Poor girl's got to ride V7s around. But she went over and she sat on the tracker, and she likes the aesthetic of the tracker. She thought it looked cool. And she went and sat on it. She was like, "Oh, all right, it's okay, it's cool." And then I said, "Well, why don't you go sit on the Thruxton, the Triumph 400 Thruxton?" And she went and sat on the Triumph 400 Thruxton, and she went, that's it, that's it, because the Thruxton has got the narrower tank. So the narrower gas tank in the Thruxton definitely made Merritt happy. Like that bike gave her the good feels. She really, really dug that bike. And, I'll pull up a picture of the Triumph Thruxton for anybody at home that wants to see it. But yeah, that's the Triumph Thruxton. Sorry about that, Sleepy. It was in your way.
Okay.
It's a beautiful bike, but it has a totally different seat and a totally different gas tank. And Merritt loves it.
I just want that front fairing.
Yeah, I
I
was
have
gonna say-
9 bikes that want that front fairing.
3/4 done. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Merritt loved it. She sat on that Thruxton. She goes, that's the one. Because she did. She sat on the Scrambler, which the Scrambler is tall. So the Scrambler is definitely tall, probably taller than she wants. And then she sat on the Scrambler, the tracker, and then she sat on the Thruxton. She was like, yeah, the Thruxton's the business. And I said, but do you like the styling? And she goes, are you fucking kidding me? It's gorgeous.
But you know what?
And I love
I'm
the
having
styling.
a problem.
What's your problem?
So almost every manufacturer,
Yeah.
like the base of motorcycles are all the same now.
Yes.
Like they just are all the same. Like the swing arms look the same, the engines look the same, the forks look the same. It's
Yes.
all just about the gas tank and the seat.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there's no creativity with the frames. And I guess it's probably cheaper just to do what works and like, the geometry works, but they just don't have character. I mean, that's a good looking bike.
Right.
But below the gas tank and below the fairing and stuff, it's like, meh.
Right. And in about 25 minutes, you're going to be really happy about one of the topics we chose to talk about today.
Okay.
Because you're going to see a motorcycle that doesn't look like any of these that's going to be available, right?
Yeah.
So, so it was fun to see those. Was there anything else at the show that y'all freaked out about? I at the Triumph display, the Triumph Grand Open, the Triumph launch?
I still like the big, well, not the ones that they brought on the trailer, but the ones that were sitting in the dealership. The big scrambler that had the black and gold paint on it. That was a good looking
Yeah,
bike.
that was a good looking bike.
Yeah, it's a good looking bike. Absolutely.
Well, you guys were there. Me and Mike went down to Cincinnati and we went to the Garage Brood show.
Oh, yeah.
So we saw some people. Some of the guys weren't there. The show was a little smaller this year.
Was it?
A little smaller.
Okay.
I think they were down 15 bikes from last year. I
All
think
right.
10 or 15.
All right.
Greg won with his
I know.
his twin.
I saw that.
Saw him down there.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I'm going to try to get the guy on the podcast. So I'm walking around and I come across a few bikes that you never see in the United States.
Okay.
TZ 250 race bike.
Yeah, all the JDM
all
stuff.
the 250s though. All
Right.
of the and so the one, it's the Suzuki that has skull band. I don't know, red and white. It's like the smoking theme. It's the famous smoking theme.
Lucky
bike.
Strike.
Lucky Strike.
Strike,
Yep.
yeah.
And I'm looking at it. It's got 200 miles on it.
What?
And I'm looking at this thing, and I'm like,
Which
man,
motor?
The 250.
Oh, the GSXR 250 or the Gamma?
No, it was the Gamma. It was
Gamma,
Four cylinder, like
Two-cylinder RG two-stroke.
Yes,
Yeah,
that,
two-stroke,
all of
two-cylinder
that,
RG.
all of that.
250
All
Gamma.
these are two strokes, everything, right?
Right.
The Yamaha,
Yep.
and he had Suzuki, and he had I think the Kawasaki. I have them at home. I can't think. Anyways, so I'm like doing my camera thing, and this guy comes up. He's like, "Oh, I like your moves," and I'm like, "Thanks." And he goes, "Yeah, I own these bikes." I was like, "Oh," so I start talking to him, right?
Oh, he introduced himself to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so we started, and his name was like Mauricio or something, right? And he's from
All right.
Florida. And he's got 27 of them. And
Oh,
they're
wow.
all these rare two-stroke and stuff. So I'm thinking, okay, obviously he's a wealthy guy.
Right.
So I'm like, I wonder if he just bought these. Like, is he just a collector or what? And he goes, well, you see that one there I bought as a basket case. So that one I built from the ground up. This one I did. I'm just like, holy shit. So then I asked him about the 200-mile bike, right?
So this is the bike you saw.
What's that? Where?
Throw it up there.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Wow.
That's it.
Yeah.
He has 3 of them. But the one that he brought to the show,
Oh, man.
that his show has 200 miles on it. And so he told me he had the one that has 5,000 miles on it, and he was very happy with that one. And a guy that he was showing on the internet this bike goes, "Oh, would you like another? But this one has 200 miles. There's a museum closing, and they're selling their stuff."
Oh, my God.
And so he's, where is it? Well, it's in England. So, of course, he flies over to England, buys the bike, and flies back.
Would have to, yeah.
But he said that he has more money into that one motorcycle than...
Yeah, I have a feeling you're right.
Yeah. But anyways, he's a really cool guy because he actually knows about all the shit. He's not just a guy that collects and stuff, and his passion exuded him. Like for 1 minute, I thought he was going to be like a European, like...
Yeah, of course.
But
Yeah.
he was awesome.
Yeah.
Like, totally awesome
Really
guy.
into it.
Yeah, and I was like, I told him
that's
about
great.
the podcast. I'm like, it's a bunch of old guys that talk about motorcycles. He goes, I'd fit right in.
Yeah, I'll slide right in there.
Yeah.
what were the horsepower and weight numbers on that?
Not much. So the biggest takeaway for most people is going to be that, this is being that it's a two-stroke and it's a two-cylinder, okay, it goes about 295 pounds. But John and I'll get in a little discussion about this, but it's 39 horsepower. So you have 250cc two-cylinder, just a hair under 40 horsepower. Okay.
That revs to like 22,000 RPM or some fucking ridiculous
I'm sure.
RPMs.
Oh, yeah. 6-speed transmission.
Yes.
Right? So 6-speed transmission. And you're like, that's some pretty spicy numbers. But John and I today were looking at old motorcycles, meaning motorcycles from before World War II.
1939.
Yeah. And we found a whole bunch of motorcycles that were 4-cylinder 250cc bikes with a supercharger that were putting out 57 horsepower.
Hardtail.
Before World War II. You know, that would be the Benelli 4-cylinder race bike, right?
I was gonna say, these are race bikes.
With a
That's-
built-in
yeah.
supercharger, exactly.
BMW built some supercharged
Yep,
bikes.
they did. Absolutely. And then we also saw the Moto Guzzi V8, which is 500 cc's and just shy of 100 horsepower. You know, and that's also a bike that's in the 1950s, right? So it is funny when you're like, oh, wow, 250 cc two-stroke, 39 horsepower. Damn, right? And the race model of this bike made 48 horsepower. So, you know.
Well, and it's
the
just to
V-model.
see these bikes that you just don't see all the time. Like I've never seen a couple of those in person
yeah.
before, you know. And for what they are, they're a big motorcycle. Like they're a full-on race kind of sized bike, and you could just tell that like all the stuff, the suspension on them was all leans, like it was all good shit. It was really cool. And they
I
all
don't
have
know why-
Kickstarters, which is so weird to see on a sport bike.
on a sport bike.
Yeah.
Tom and I had a friend, Jill Taylor, and she used to show up at scooter rallies on an RG250 Gamma. Right? And did she get that from Rob? Was that where that bike came from?
I'm sure.
Yeah. And so, you know, the fact that she had she had a two-stroke. Those might have been actually 3-cylinder. I got to check my math on those. But anyway, pretty freaking cool. I mean, very, very cool. Very interesting bike. And
I don't know why they
super
don't
neat.
have more two-strokes that have a turbo or a supercharger like a two. Well, I mean, we'd think that would help a lot with, you know what I mean, stuffing the crank case and
The
everything.
RG
you
is
know?
definitely a V-twin. So
There is a two-stroke 3-cylinder though. It's like a V3. And
I can't
want to say
remember
a
which one it was.
Honda had a V3
Yeah.
like that, but I don't know.
it's that Gamma was early mid 90s, right? So yeah, it's really cool.
And then the
super
other
neat.
thing that just blew me away, like I was slobbering like I've never slobbered before. This dude had a Muzzy ZX7 fucking race bike up there.
Yeah.
With like all the unobtainable shit. Like the aluminum fucking gas tank with the vent that comes out the top with the two giant endurance fucking inlets and the thing. He had the purple Kawasaki magnesium. They look like Comstars without the hole. They were a race rim. That
Yeah,
was
race rim.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. He had that. The forks, the swing arm was like a Superbike swing arm back then, all done in the green and purple thing. I almost walked out with it. I was like, I was considering, I had to get it down steps though, and that's what kept me from doing it. But
Was it done GP style or was it done as a quarter miler?
No, GP.
GP
It
style.
was like ready to. It looked like he was set up for endurance racing.
Yeah.
So it looks like maybe he got an endurance bike with the
Okay.
tank and then built it in that regard. Oh, dude, it was so fucking good.
Yeah, that's badass.
So this year they had a couple crazy choppers and stuff, but there was a lot of really nice restored bikes. And then Greg's buddy had a chopper that I think he won. I think he was the other guy that won. All I have to say is he must have had them custom made or found it. You know, remember the slotted rims that all hot rods had?
Yeah.
He had slotted rims.
Oh, he had slots.
Like,
yeah.
but they were also Cerakoted.
Really?
They looked like a brownish gunmetal fucking dude. It was sick. I was like, the first time I was like, a long time I looked at a bike and said, God damn, that's like really ingenious, creative, different, and very kind of West Coast too, because it was completely rideable. It wasn't like obnoxious and stupid and like, you know, ugh.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It was a pretty cool show. Definitely
Honda
worth
had
trip.
the NS500 V3 two-stroke,
That's what it was. The NS.
1982
NS 500.
to 1984.
Damn. That's cool. That is freaking cool,
But
man.
congratulations to their garage. They did
Yeah.
another great job.
That
this year.
is freaking fantastic.
And
yeah.
Greg for winning.
Yeah, and Greg for winning. That's exactly
you know, everything.
right.
Greg's his stuff is so fun.
It
I
is.
mean,
Well,
like,
do
he does a really
you know what he
good job.
took? He put a two-stroke,
I
a
saw,
twin
yeah, the
two-stroke into the 50.
Yeah, it was a 180.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
going to have like 30 horsepower or something in a...
In a bike that you can only use 3 horsepower in. Right. Yeah.
That 180 made like 21 horsepower, 22 horsepower.
Okay.
But that's a lot in
Yeah.
that little
It's
bike.
a hell of a lot. Yeah.
And it sounds so wicked.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like,
yeah. Yeah, that's. I
had
brought
a
it
couple
up
of
because I
those.
thought it'd be fun to pull it up. So actually, this is our friend Casey. So we know Casey. Casey's great.
And the Sunshine Band?
Go ahead and pull up his bike.
there it is.
Because there it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's Casey's bike. We love that machine. That
Look at
is
them fucking
fantastic.
rims, dude.
Yeah, they're beautiful. Everything about that bike is awesome. Yeah,
He
that's a
nailed
fun
it.
bike.
It's very rideable. It's sweet, and there's nothing that's on there that was like bought.
No, it all looks super cool.
Yeah.
Like everything on that bike, like to me, that's a very basic stripped down fun chopper. And it doesn't have impossible ergonomics. It doesn't have impossible numbers.
Some stupid rake
It doesn't have a
anglers.
stupid rake.
Yeah.
It looks like a really fun bike. Yeah,
Looks like it
that's
has
cool, man.
Actual suspension too.
Well, on the front.
Yeah, that's I'm saying on the front.
Here, those
Yeah.
are upside down forks.
Yeah. It's a cool bike, man. That's well deserved, man. Absolutely well deserved.
Did you see Greg? Can you find Greg's on there?
I can find Greg's. Yeah, let's go ahead.
I think it's the next one over, actually.
I think it might be.
Oh, wait. Oh, wait.
Hold on. We'll get there. There it is. There's
Yep.
the man.
There's Greg.
Look at him. He's all stoic. Yeah. Cool. That is great. Yeah, it's funny. You don't realize how different that bike is. You don't realize how much work went into it until you realize that entire pole that's on the front by that exhaust system that's splitting those exhausts in half, that's just not supposed to be there.
No, or the thing that's holding the number plate is from a
Right.
Suzuki. That's not a Honda thing. The
Yeah.
little the badges underneath the seat.
Yeah, it's cool.
That's from a different bike.
Yeah, that's a beautiful build.
It was fun walking around and listening to people.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's guys that know everything, and they were telling their wife like, "Oh, this is really rare. Honda only made 2 of these."
Oh, God. Yeah, Z50s with a 180 motor conversion were kind of rare.
Especially when they did that collaboration with Yamaha.
Yeah, when they started working with the Yamaha, that was a very short run.
Yeah.
Very, very short run. Yeah. Yeah, that was fucking great. Did you guys stay over or just go there and hit it and get it?
No, we stayed. We actually stayed later than we wanted to. I think we stayed till 9, so we got home at like fucking 1 or something.
Oh, yeah.
Mike probably got home at 2.
Yeah, last time we got the hotel room and that was
a
pretty
smart move.
That was pretty luxury. Yeah, that was pretty chill.
But a lot of the guys, Dan didn't show up. I saw a bunch of people, but
Yeah.
not as everybody.
Did he have the electric start on that motor working, or was he starting it?
I think that one's a kickstart. I think his other one that he has is electric.
It is electric.
and it
that
just
motor,
start. It's just
Yeah.
There's
it
no
has
start.
It has a starter rater.
Starter
on it.
rater.
So it's an electric motor basically, and a big armature on the end of it. And when you go to start it, it starts the motor, and then as soon as you let off the starter, it has relays that click.
It's
and then-
generating.
and then it generates. It's
Yeah.
a dyner. They actually call it a charge start dynamo.
Wow. Yeah. Charge
My
start
lawn
dynamo.
my vintage lawn tractor has one of those.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, it's a pain in the ass if you want to try to undo the armature. I couldn't.
That is golf cart technology right
But
there.
check this out. So he said on that bike, that was why it revs. He said like an insane fucking wildebeest.
Yeah.
Because he took out all the charging stuff. He said he took out 20 pounds out of the motor.
Oh, so it's
whole
constant
thing.
loss.
Yeah, because there's a huge armature over on this side,
Oh, yeah.
like a vacuum cleaner. And if you take all that out, now you've lightened the.
On anything I've ever worked on that had a starterator,
Yeah.
it's always like a 30, 20-pound contraption because
Yeah,
you
he
have the
says-
world's largest starter motor that is also going to do duty as a charging system.
Right. The other one that he has revs like vroom, vroom, vroom.
Yeah.
He said this thing's like an Indy car. It's
Yeah.
like,
The flywheel weight is now ounces.
Yeah, right.
That's cool.
Which is interesting. Then he must have had to hook up like a magneto ignition or something.
electric. I think he said electric.
Total loss
Yeah,
or
total-
something.
yeah.
But
Probably
you still have to
total
run
loss.
points, and the points are built into that whole
Yeah.
plate and everything like that. So
No, I think he said he got an electronic ignition.
Probably did.
okay. So he got an electronic, like a race ignition.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm guessing probably happened. Ooh, very cool. Yeah, that's pretty neat. I love shit like that. I just think that's great. Everything Greg does is funny because it's also so tiny, small, portable, and fun.
Yeah.
So you're like, whether he's talking about some, amusement park ride that happens to have a motor in it. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
He can have like 50 of his bikes in half of his garage.
Yeah, it's true. That's the other thing too. That is a big deal.
I love our
He
chat.
just keeps them all at skid mark.
Alex, when anytime we talk about racing stuff, he has all the history, all the shit locked down. I love this dude.
Oh, there you
Look
go. Honda did have it. The NSR 500 V3 that was raced in GP. Unfortunately, it wasn't competitive against the NSR 500 V4. That's right. Mick Doohan's V4. Yeah, that's exactly right. The V3 is a very odd, weird number. But God, that V4, we all love that. So yeehaw.
Oh, the sound.
Oh man, super, super cool. So yeah, that's a super, really interesting thing. When I was looking for topics today's show, and I was like, oh yeah, we could do this or we could do that, and we coming up with ideas. And I was even asking Renee, I was like, hey, what do you think we should talk about for tonight's podcast and everything else? And I went back and sat down at my desk, and Renee goes, wait, were you aware that that Polaris sold off Indian? I said, yeah, we talked about that a few weeks ago. We talked about that, totally. And she goes, well, apparently they got the guy from Harley Davidson to run it.
What?
And I was like, I didn't hear about that.
The dude that they just fired?
Nope.
Oh.
No, not the guy that you said. And so this isn't a very, very interesting thing because we had the story. Okay, yeah, Polaris is done with Indian. Okay.
It was only 7% of their sales.
It was literally out of the entire company of Polaris, which they sell and build so many things. I mean, we're talking about all the fancy Barrington pontoon boats, and like they have a whole part of the industry we're just not aware of. We just think Polaris, okay, they got some snow machines, they got some side-by-sides. No, we are so wrong in that. They are a massive, massive company, and that the Indian motorcycle portion of their company was only 7%. Okay. Now, downside, because they chose to have the motorcycles manufactured in their, God, I can't remember the name of it. Was it Indian River or something?
Ganges?
What?
Ganges?
No, not the Ganges. They don't build motorcycles in the Ganges.
No, but
Oh
isn't
my
there
God.
a town right there?
Well, the Ganges is
In America.
In the Ganges?
There's a town called Ganges.
Yeah, I do not know. That's right. I just can't draw it up at the moment.
I hear you.
But they are they're closing their Osceola factory. So the Osceola factory where they made the...
I appreciate you.
Is that
Cinch.
one of the Ganges?
Was that one of the Ganges? I don't know about the Ganges.
It's an Indian River.
It is an Indian River. That was just don't get lost in denial. So they did end up having the original statement was that they weren't going to lay anybody off, but the reality is they have. So it cost them about 170 jobs. Now they're not telling whether or not those jobs are all going away or if they're going to have they're going to find places for these people within the company within Polaris. But the entire engine manufacturing facility, that entire factory where they were making some of their motors is going to no longer be doing those motors whatsoever. So that's all going to go to the other factory.
Do we know how long Indian was with Polaris?
We don't, but I remember vividly the year that Polaris quit building motorcycles and put all their energy into Indian. So
You mean Victory?
Yeah.
They switched.
yeah, when Victory went away. Yeah, when
I think
Victory
there was
went
some
away.
downtime in between there.
No,
No,
because
no,
it was-
they made some the same year.
Okay.
Like 2012 or 14.
I mean,
I
they
wanted
were
to say
making
14, yeah.
Victory and Indian at the same time,
Absolutely.
and then they decided
Yeah.
we're just going to make Indian.
So Polaris officially acquired the Indian motorcycle brand on April 19th of 2011.
Okay, so 15-year run.
And it looks like they launched their first redesigned motorcycle in 2013. So that was the first one. And so, you look at that and you go, okay, well, that's 13 years, right? Or, 12 years if you
A lot
want
of
to be
people really
technical.
like the Victory bikes.
I did there were a number of those Victory bikes that I actually thought were pretty cool, but I do understand how they could say it was a lot of duplication in the lineup. I get that, but look, when
Chevy
Indian,
and GMC at the
Yeah.
same time.
yeah, absolutely. And when Indian says, okay, well, you were 7% of our income, but you guys took a hit of 30% last year, so abandon ship. Man, every motorcycle company except for BMW took a 30% hit last year. Everybody. You're not special. You took a 30% hit. That does not make you special. That makes you average. That makes you normal. And it turns out, though, that the guy that they hired to run their shop is the guy who was the director of North American operations, Harley Davidson and dealer development for a very, very long time. And what I think is interesting is that guy also worked at Bombardier, which Bombardier and Polaris are sworn enemies. They really are. And so, Bombardier and Polaris are always duking it out for a big portion of the side-by-side market, the ATV market, Sea-Doos,
yeah.
all that stuff. They really do. And so, yeah, Mike...
All the dues.
All the dues. So the two guys who own this Carrollwood company, and Carrollwood, I looked up Carrollwood, they're not a super old company. Carrollwood is a couple of young guys. It's a couple of young guys that have been making their money by buying and selling a lot of property in Los Angeles. Buying distressed property in Los Angeles.
Real estate private equity.
Exactly.
Play. Like this is their first real estate thing.
Yeah, exactly. This is the first time they're buying anything that doesn't have set a timer for 4 years for Polaris to be sold again.
Yeah,
Wow,
I mean PE
wow.
acquisition, right?
Yeah.
They're either going to gut it or they're going to do something and sell it.
Right. Now, keep in mind, though, that Polaris is 93% not Indian. So if they sold off Indian, well, that 7% is not really going to affect their bottom line too
Well, you said
terribly
their
much.
stock went up, right?
It went up a fucking lot. And that's the part that really got my attention, was when I looked at, because when they were talking about doing this deal, when Polaris was pitching the idea of selling off Indian, they said, if we do this to convince the shareholders, our stock could go up $1 or $2 a share. It went up $6 a share. So apparently the shareholders thought that getting rid of Indian was a really good idea, because it did. It skyrocketed in the 2 weeks since the sale was announced. That's notable. That's worth being aware of it. I was very, very interested in seeing how much that company apparently liked that move, how much Polaris liked the idea of not being Indian anymore. Now, the Mike Kennedy guy, generally speaking, everything I've seen, the people at Harley-Davidson liked Mike Kennedy. He seemed to be a guy that legitimately was 100% for Harley-Davidson. So having a guy that did very well with Harley-Davidson is probably a good idea for Indian. However, don't get your hopes on seeing anything from Indian that resembles, this bike doesn't look like retro heritage, because Mike Kennedy, that's what Mike Kennedy does. He's going to say, what is Indian's calling card? Let's lean into it. And I think that's 100% evident by the Indian motorcycle. I mean, the Kawasaki Vulcan motorcycle. I mean, the Drifter motorcycle that we looked at last week. I think that
If they follow that template down the line, they're
going to make money.
They'll do all right. Yep.
I do too. I think they're going to,
Providing they're managed correctly.
right. I completely agree, because Harley-Davidson has got a lot of balls to juggle. I mean, they are all over the place. So I think if Indian stays in their lane and maintains that classic retro Americana, I think it's going to treat them right. Because I don't think this is not the time for Indian to be like, look, here's our 400cc dirt bike. I don't think that's a good idea for Indian. Some of us remember.
I'd like to see them keep that flat tracker.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. That 1200 flat tracker was
FTR,
great.
yeah,
The
that's a
FTR,
cool
but I
bike.
thought they already stopped that.
It's already gone.
They did.
Yeah.
Already gone. They probably already squashed the tooling. But some of us were alive when Indian tried to sell dirt bikes.
Yeah, that was a
fucking mess.
Floyd Kramer, or
Yeah.
what was his name? Was that his name?
Climber.
Climber.
Yeah.
Like
Climber.
Like of the manuals.
Yep.
Yeah.
Same guy.
Same company.
Yeah.
Yeah. He had his hands in everything, and they had Indian mopeds.
It was all Italian made,
Yep,
and they were
Aramachis
just,
and
he owned the Indian
Italjets.
name, and he was just putting stickers on tanks of
It was everything,
Indian
man.
bikes.
Yeah. You'd swear to God that Indian was still in business building little tiny bikes, and it was just one dude putting stickers on bikes. And they sold them for a long time. So, yeah. So that's an interesting thing for us. Again, I love that Indian heritage. I thought that bike looked beautiful.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was a great bike. Let's, if that's what you're doing, then you just do that. That's fine,
But aren't they selling more of the little
The Scouts?
The Scout? Yeah,
Yeah, the Scout is
the cheap one.
The Scout is definitely, I think, their probably best unit sales bike, because it comes in at such a low price point. Let's see what they sell for, because I'm curious.
Right at 10, I think.
I think so too, right? Yeah, I think they're right. I think they're right in there. I think they're right there. Yeah, $99.99.
Yeah.
So they're duking it out with that Harley Nightster.
I'd take the Scout over the Knights.
Oh, I think I
any
would
day.
too. I completely agree. I think that you'd be foolish not to take the Scout. I've ridden enough of them. They deliver power like mad.
Mm-hmm.
They are very happy motors. I just think it's cool that they look the way they do. They're kind of their own thing. And I think that's a really cool, when you've got a motorcycle that has that look, and they call it the Scout 60. It's their smallest motor.
Because they have a bigger Scout. Too.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, this
Yep.
13
Yep.
or
They sure do.
14 grand.
Yeah, the Scout 60 bobber is a 60 cubic inch motor, and that's $99.99. Merritt sat on one, and she found the bike to be the right height for her, but where her feet were was way too high. She was like, man, my feet are way too high. So if you take a look at this image, you can see that the rider's knees are way above his hips. And Merritt said the exact same thing. She was like, yeah, I don't like this. She was doing that permanent toe touch position. So, yeah, but that's what that is. You certainly do get you certainly do get 85 horsepower. You get a lot of stuff that's very similar to the Harley Davidson, and boy, it's hilarious that they're both 99.99. You know, that's clearly the magic number. So, yeah.
It seems like not a lot of new bikes this coming year have a kind of lowered price. Like, there's some decent pricing on new motorcycles. I mean, the shit you have in your shop is like, I was telling a dude at the shop we were working at in Pennsylvania today, the Destruction Lab. Yeah. And he usually rides a Harley, and he's like, I've been thinking about an adventure bike. So I was telling him about the Moto Marinis. Yeah. And I told him, like, you know, all of them, like the 450, the 700, and I got to the 1200. And I was telling him about the 1200, and I'm like, that's going to be like 13 grand. I agree. He was like, what? Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, dude. I'm like, it has a TFT like a fucking Cadillac. And it still is off-road, the whole thing. And like, he was like, I had no idea that they got that cheap. Because the last I looked, the BMW is like 28 grand. And I'm like, yeah, and that's a great bike. Like, don't discount a BMW. But I'm like, this is not that. It's not like you're sacrificing anything when you buy the Marini.
If you compare the look, the aesthetic of the Harley Nightster to that Harley Scout, or to that Indian Scout we just looked at, they're more similar than they are different. Yeah. They really are. This is that 975cc motor, by the way. That's the motor now, liquid-cooled motor that they're doing instead of their entry-level air-cooled motors. And so that's the, you know, a bigger version of that lives in the Pan America.
Tommy.
So pretty cool. Yeah.
I'm not sure about that front wheel.
Yeah, that's like, I think that's low effort right there. I think that might be
look, you change color and it changes the wheel.
Changes the wheel.
That one's better.
That one's much better. Yeah, that one's much better. But yeah, you look at that just straight up like 7-spoke wheel. It's not, I mean, I don't hate it, but I definitely like that snowflake style wheel a lot better.
Looks better than the wheel on the Buell.
It sure is.
Well, that wheel right there just looks like it would be like on my ZX6R has that same wheel.
Yeah, it's pretty common wheel. Asymmetrical wheel on the front and the back of the bike, by the way. I don't know if you noticed that. But speaking of asymmetrical wheels, Buell, I don't know who I do not know. I do not understand who Buell knows that was able to get a $10 million loan from Uncle Sam.
Oh my God. I saw that. I was like, what the hell?
$10 million loan.
Lee Iacocca brokered the deal.
So listen, I promise this time it's going to work. That's how you go into that meeting.
I think they got $10 million on name recognition alone.
Well, Eric's not with the company anymore.
Right, that's the whole thing.
Like they bought his name.
Right, he hasn't been part of this game for a while.
Maybe that's why they gave him the loan. We're like, we got rid of the guy that kept fucking the thing up.
Oh man,
I don't know if that's true. I'm just saying.
No, and that's. But the whole thing is,
I think he's the man behind the curtain.
He could be.
I think he's still there.
He could be.
It could be.
I know it's my name on the door, but promise, no lawyers come and look for me at all.
Have you ever met Derek Yule?
Derek Yule. He's just got a whole thing of fake mustaches.
Yes.
It's like Undercover Boss with a bad wig.
Yes. Just, to kind of, for the people that don't know him, they have been talking about the Buell SuperCruiser for at least 3 years. Okay. And they've been taking deposits and signing people up to be the next owner of a Buell SuperCruiser for at least the last 3 years. And now they are finally giving bikes to people.
Yeah, no, the dude from Kaplan Cycle has been delivering them for like 3 months.
There you go.
And he's like, and that he also has the sport bike too. Mm-hmm. And the sport bike was kind of badass.
The Cafe Racer, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. No, the one with like the full fairing.
Yeah,
that thing.
Yeah, that's a beautiful bike.
Yeah,
super cool.
I mean, they're cool enough that I kind of hope it works for them.
175 horsepower.
Yeah.
Right? Says it weighs 450 pounds wet. Okay, that's super lightweight. No problem with that. It's got a lot. If I have to be completely honest with this motorcycle, I find it hard to fucking look at.
You got that front wheel off of like a
like an old Buell M2 Cyclone.
No, like a set of rollerblades or something.
Yeah, it's not my favorite thing. I like the sport bike. The sport bike one kind of twisted some wiggles on me, but this one...
Since we've already discussed the failure of Victory and transition to Indian, I'm sure Arlen Ness's family would probably like to get a phone call from them to make them not look ugly.
Yeah, that's true.
He might be available.
That is absolutely true. I do, as much as I love the idea of an American motorcycle company building an American motorcycle and doing all the things they're doing, I have to be honest, I find the Buell SuperCruiser hard to look at. If you look at this image, the exhaust is a war crime.
Well, that last one you showed had an SC Shorty on it.
Yes,
it looked
did.
okay.
The last one I showed you had the illegal exhaust that I'm sure everybody in the world is going to be putting on their bikes, right?
Yeah.
That's the one. That's the SC Shorty on there. And that's what's going to end up on everything. But that's not what comes on it when you give them all your money.
What is happening
with
on
that
the
rear?
rear?
A lot of things.
What's up with that rear fender? I mean, because it's got that weird swing.
It is
arm.
like a leftover Sportster fender.
No, not only that, but it looks like they took my broken ZX6R frame and shoved the swing arm just into the frame.
I agree.
That is funny. It doesn't even look like it's attached.
No,
It
I
looks
think
like
that's
it's
the
just
same
shoved.
swing arm they use in their sport bike.
Right, the swing arm's kind of a hallmark of their design. I
Sure.
get that, but they didn't incorporate it very well with
No,
that.
look, the fender's like, hey, we don't have a fender that fits. Well, they just stopped the mud.
It
dude.
looks like a cruiser backed into a sport bike.
Yeah.
It got scared and it ran backwards into a sport bike. And then somewhere in the middle is what you got. That's what happened.
That King Queen, like the way they've done the King Queen seat is very sort of mid 80s Malaise Harley.
Yes, it is.
And then they got
Absolutely.
Comstars on it, which is throwing me off.
This is just.
It kind of looks like a dollar store chopper, like a little
It
bit.
kind of does.
That little front wheel just the front wheel just kills it.
But
And-
can you pull up the sport bike version? Because
I can. Hold
That
on.
one, I like that one. Like, so like they can make a decent looking bike. It's not my favorite bike I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But it's not that thing.
Right.
How much?
Look, they only got $10 million. They can't design something that looks pretty at the same time.
Well, and they claimed, and I'm just going to say those words, they claimed to have pre-sold
Oh yeah.
the equivalent of
It's like 5,500.
55. They said 6,000 bikes.
It was a big number.
But then when I took the math,
No, they have claimed that they have sold
6,000.
like 6,000
They
bikes,
said
that they've
we-
already sold
we
100.
pre-sold 6,000, which came
$120
to
million
$144 million.
Yeah,
But then when
so-
I did the math on that, 6,000 didn't work at the MSRP. That only came out to 4,200 bikes. Now, sure, 1,800 between friends is probably not much. I lie about 8 inches all the time. So it's probably not going to be 6,000.
Wait,
Right?
so what's the MSRP or what are they selling
20. Give me a second. Oh man, I had to accidentally walk away from the thing. They changed it. It is now $25,900. It is not a cheap bike, right? It's just not. It's collaboration with Roland Sands Design. That's not free, right?
If I'm spending $25,000, my bike's coming from Italy or Germany. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I could see that. I definitely. If you throw this image up, let's go ahead and just pull it up. Okay, look, we understand. If you want to be cool, your motorcycle has to be liquid cooled. That big radial brake that we saw in some of the other pictures
I was going to say,
has been replaced by Brembos. Okay, so those earlier pictures may not be what you're actually getting in your box when you order one.
Well, this looks
if it
like the
has
sport
Buell
bike.
on the side, I want radial
But
brakes.
this looks
Yeah.
like the sport bike without the plastic on it because the sport bike has different running gear.
So, and I think that's right, Sleepy. I think you're absolutely right.
That rotor's not even that big. It's just because that wheel's so small.
The
That's a mountain bike rotor.
yeah, it is a 17-inch wheel. I mean, it's a 17-inch wheel. And so rather than have that big radial on it, that would be a trademark of a Buell,
Right.
it has two regular normal.
Well, they know if they did that on a bike that they want people to take to the track, nobody would take it to the track.
Right.
Because you don't know how do you learn that? I mean, I guess you could learn it, but
I tracked an M2 for years. Had that giant, ridiculous radial brake on it. That wheel-mounted brake. It's fine. It was totally, there was nothing wrong
They
with that.
dissipated heat really well.
It
actually.
had huge other problems to talk about. That brake was never one of them.
Okay.
Yeah, and they did have a lot of track success with that giant, ridiculous rotor.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine. But that is not I think the real deal is that this is probably cheaper to open up a box that says Brembo on it, especially when we know that Brembos are mostly made in China. So the double coffin oil cooler / radiator cooler is the part that initially they were painting them black, which I think was doing us a favor. Now that they're silver and you can see them from a mile away, that is a giant radiator. I mean, that is a really fucking big radiator. And once you start seeing that radiator, you can't stop seeing that radiator. It's there.
Oh, no, that is the Super. What the fuck? I thought that was the sport bike without the plastic.
Yep.
That radiator's sticking out on the front of the SuperCruiser?
Sure enough is.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, it's giant. It's huge.
Don't go on any gravel roads.
Oh, ever. And you got only 6 inches of front fender.
I mean, that oil cooler is about 4
6
inches.
of rear fender, too.
That oil cooler is a curb smacker.
Dude, if you have a speed bump, you better fucking go in the opposite direction. I'm serious.
Yeah, it's this motorcycle.
Wait, go up.
Go up.
So they're advertising this with influencer. He has the hoodie, the helmet,
the Vans,
and those weird pants. They're trying to hit up
those weird
millennials.
pants. Yeah, those pants are what they call
breakaway when you hit the ground.
Those are cargo athleisures.
There you
They're
go. Cargo joggers. I bet you those hold up really well to fucking.
They're cargo joggers. They're made of fleece. But yeah, I look at this motorcycle and I applaud them for being an American company to do this. But yeehaw, 175 horsepower, 94 pounds-feet of torque, goody gumdrops, all those things. I have a problem looking at this bike. It looks like it's 4 or 5 different bikes.
174 horsepower.
Yep.
Not how much torque?
95s. 94.
On a V-twin.
Yep. Yeah. It's their same motor that they use in their sport bike. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's going to have it's too peaky. It's going to be peaky. Like I mean, no, 95 foot-pounds of torque's a lot.
Yeah, 95 foot-pounds of torque's a whole lot.
That's the thing.
Relative to the horsepower numbers.
I've been hearing really good things about how they ride.
The motors,
like how they handles and stuff. Because that Kaplan America dude always has videos and he has people riding it. And like everybody's like, this bike's fucking awesome.
It better be because it's hard to look at.
Yeah.
Right. This is one of those ones where like I'm glad she can dance, and I hope she can cook.
Yeah, that's function over form. Maybe.
Right. That is function over form. And to me, that rear superbike swing arm just is like, what the, this bike looks like it was a parts bin bike. And it might very well be. And if people want to buy it, that's cool. The fact they got a $10 million loan from Uncle Sam, holy crap, good. We need more American companies building American stuff. That's the way I feel about it.
Yeah. Can't get mad about
485 pounds. If that's the case and that's what it weighs wet, holy shit, that is a light motorcycle for a very, very, very big, big motor.
Everybody that read, what is it called? The Thunderbelt, the Shark, what they call it? Something.
The Hammerhead.
The Hammerhead.
Yeah, the Hammerhead.
Everybody that rode that said it's fucking a beast.
Everybody swears by the 1190 Hammerhead. Everyone just says, yeah, that thing is fucking fantastic. And it is what it is. It's a sport bike. It is a bike you can take on the track right now. Very fucking cool. Yeah, it's a cool bike.
I don't want to ride one of those. Look at that thing. Oh, man.
Well, the paint scheme doesn't hurt it one bit.
But that's what I'm saying. Look, this thing doesn't suck.
No, it doesn't suck.
How did the same design team go like, man, we nailed this. Okay, go back to the SuperCruiser. Yeah. Oh, fuck.
Well, there's the swing arm.
Right.
There's the swing arm.
It's the same
this one has
quarter of the bike.
Right. Yes, it is. And this one has the perimeter or radial mounted, what do they call that? The rim mounted brake.
Wow.
Right.
All right. Yeah. So I was wrong on that.
This bike is a pretty, I think this bike is tied together and this bike looks really good.
Oh, I'd buy one in a heartbeat.
Concur.
Yeah, I think it's a beautiful bike.
I do too.
I think the Hammerhead looks fucking great.
And can you imagine how it's going to sound with that V-twin fucking barking out of a little fucking SC exhaust sticking out of the thing? Oh,
it's appropriately named too. It has like those gills on the side.
Yeah, right.
It looks like.
And
I got no problem with this thing, man.
And the Super Touring, which is the one that I honestly thought was going to catch more slack. I think people were going to come out hard and be like, I hate the Super Touring. I just hate it. But I think it's remarkable how few people even have a comment about the Super Touring. I don't know if they haven't delivered them or what.
That was about the SuperCruiser.
The SuperCruiser says looks like the inspo for a new Sons of Anarchy. You're not wrong.
It does. It had that club
It's
bike.
got the club and bars on it and the whole deal. Yep, it does.
Park it out in front of the Blue Oyster.
What do you mean leaky seal? No, it's a bar. I promise.
Anybody who has a Camaro will definitely be buying a SuperCruiser.
Well, yeah, that could be a thing. I think a lot of their bikes are absolutely gorgeous. There's the 1190 SX. That's the Street Fighter, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's a great looking bike. That is a fantastic looking bike.
The swing arm works so much better with the box section frame.
It does. Yeah, absolutely.
Like
because
not
it creates,
having the tubular frame, yeah.
It creates the perfect line from the neck of the motorcycle down to the back axle.
Yep.
And when you take that apart and you no longer have that, then it does. It looks like somebody just cobbled together two different bikes.
I mean, if you ask me, they should just drop the fucking Cruiser. Keep these two, sell 1 billion of them.
But they're not.
No.
And that's the problem is they're not selling 1 billion of them. And that comes into, does anybody in this room know where our local Buell dealer is?
No.
We're all motorcycle people, right?
Well, Harley doesn't sell them anymore, right?
No. no.
I've never been to a Buell dealer.
Yeah, I didn't
I
know.
don't think I've ever seen one.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a Buell dealer.
So we are the number 3 motorcycle state in America, right?
Sure.
All of us sitting in this room have a whole bunch of motorcycles, right? And yet the only dealer for Buell, the only way any one of us can buy a Buell motorcycle is to go to Cincinnati, Ohio. That is our only Buell dealer in the state of Ohio.
Which, for people who are not familiar with the geography of Ohio,
It's big as Germany.
well, but we can get to Pittsburgh or Detroit
Way faster.
easier than we can get to Cincinnati.
Yeah, way faster. That's the trick, and that is the tricky thing about when I get to a bike and I'm like, okay, well, show me the dealer network. I want to talk about like where can I actually buy this motorcycle? Because for me, a big part of buying a motorcycle has always been where the hell can I buy it? And the likelihood of me being able to go to Cincinnati to buy a motorcycle, man, I don't know. It's just that's kind of a sore dick deal. No, that's not a sore dick deal. Wait, oh my God, John's being invaded by a dick. That's terrible.
Put it right on the forehead. Where is it? Oh.
Wait a second, hold on.
Oh, I got in the way. I got dick on me.
Is that the Centurion's helmet? Yeah. That's the Roman warrior's helmet right there. Dick. We like it. Fall asleep again, I dare you.
I got up at 4:30 and he's sleeping.
Yeah, that happens. So, again, I'm not trying to shit all over them. I'm thrilled there's an American company building motorcycles. I'm not qualified to even work there.
Make America great again.
Well,
Are they building them in Wisconsin?
Yes, they are.
Are they? Okay.
yeah. I actually, no, I think it's, I'm sorry, I lied. It's Grand Rapids, Michigan. So it's Grand Rapids, Michigan. That's
Well,
where
the two sport bikes look right. They look like Buells.
They do.
They have that giant
Yeah, they do.
spar frame.
The Super Touring, to me, the square boxy adventure bags on the back looks weird with the more aerodynamic front end. It's not as ugly as a Pan America, but it's in the running, right?
Few things are.
Yeah.
But have you decided that you love the ugly Pan America?
I don't.
Oh, what is this?
Really?
thing?
It's
I didn't
grown.
see
It's
this.
grown.
You didn't see this?
Oh,
Yeah. This is their Super Touring. So this is their, I'm sorry. This is their Super Touring. So it's their motor, it's their big 185 horsepower motor jammed in to a Super Touring bike. And that's what it is. That's the motorcycle.
I don't know if I don't hate that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. That's what it is.
It kind of has dual headlights in the front.
Yeah. So honestly, it does have dual headlights. So Sleepy automatically gives it
know.
one chukka.
It does.
So
Yeah.
is that the same radiator and oil cooler?
It must be. It's got to be the same thing, just painted differently or whatever. Because yeah, you're right, Dan. That's probably the same animal. Why would you make it? Why would you make it any different?
Those are Brimbos in the front too, though.
Yes, those are. Yep. And I have a feeling, I have a very sneaking suspicion that since their racetrack quality bike comes with that wheel-mounted
Radial,
brake,
yeah.
okay, that must be more expensive than two Brembos. Because on all their bikes that are budget conscious, they got two Brembos on there. But on all their bikes that are performance conscious, big perimeter.
Well, and that's the thing that you forget to realize is that just because it says Brembro doesn't make it like the top of the line brake.
I got Vespas that come with Brembos.
Yeah, you know, like when you get a track prepped bike that's been put together by like a professional company, those Brembos cost $10,000 for the calipers and set and all that. So you're not getting that on the bike that just says Brembo on it when you get the thing.
Absolutely. I was very happy with the braking performance of the M2, and the M2 was ancient technology. That's 25-year-old technology at this point. And
well, in all honesty, I don't think there's anybody in this room that can use out-brake. Like, you really got to be a monster to outbrake modern sport bikes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And those rotors, when you talk about, like, so the rotor for the XB12, the factory stock rotor is $391 for that perimeter, that large format brake.
I'm surprised it's not more.
Yeah,
I am too.
Yeah, that rim-mounted rotor. And
I wonder how hard it is not to warp it, though. Because when you have that big of a surface, I know it doesn't get hot because it dissipates the
more
heat,
metal.
but like if you had a hard grab,
right?
You know what I mean? Like sometimes having a smaller one, it's harder to tweak it, but that big-ass one could tweak pretty easily, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you that I have faded a lot of motorcycle brakes in my time, and I never faded the brake on that M2.
That's good to know.
And
you put a lot of miles on that.
I did put a lot of miles on that bike. So that bike never, ever, ever acted like the front brake was going to be a problem. It acted like it had a fucking hinge in the middle of it. Like it didn't. The front end and the back end didn't always point in the same direction. You know, when you put that motorcycle on the racetrack or you'd hit the gas in the middle of a turn, it was very happy to let you know that the chassis and the motor is a V. That's a Sportster motor, right? And it definitely did not. There were a lot of times in a corner where it felt like your front wheel and your back wheel were operating in two totally different wavelengths. So, yep, I think that front brake must be decent because they are putting it on their fastest race bike. So if they're putting it on their fastest race bike, if the Hammerhead has it, then it must be pretty good.
Do you know, do any of the race series specifically prohibit rim brakes?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Because you would expect if it really was
superior,
it would be in all MotoGP bikes, right?
Right, exactly.
Well, I think it would be, you know what might be causing it, though, is quick changes.
Quick changes everything.
Because
that's true.
Yeah,
quick changes everything.
Because with their setups,
they don't change tires on MotoGP bikes.
No, but I mean, they do for rain, for other things like that.
No, they switch bikes.
Yeah, I mean that's true.
They don't switch wheel or now like endurance racing and Isle of Man they'll have the quick change for the tire.
Exactly. Yep.
But MotoGP,
but when you can, even when you see
a single tire for the whole race,
no, I understand that.
They jump off the bike onto the other bike.
But still, even on that situation, they mostly have quick change wheels because when they pull them in, you watch them take the bikes apart.
I mean, they do have a quick change wheel, but like it's not a pit stop though.
No, but what I'm saying is those if you're going in between rounds or something and you had something going quick, you know. Can you get how do you take the caliper off that? Is it different? I don't know. I've never had a outer rim thing. It has to be a little more complicated.
I have changed the front wheel. I have changed the front pads on mine, and it just was just like every other bike I've ever done.
Okay,
so you just undid the two bolts that hold the caliper together, and you just take the whole caliper away.
Yeah, but see, the race guys aren't going to do that.
But I am
because like that's the quick change. The way they have it, they can pull it straight out. If you've ever seen it.
Oh, because the brake stays on the bike.
Yeah, so the brakes you don't have to take the brake
is attached to the wheel.
Right, it's just whoosh, and it comes out.
Yep.
So
I can't imagine that's it though, because they could have a whole new one on the replacement wheel. You could swap the whole thing back on the replacement wheel and slap the caliper back down on it.
Talking to the machine.
It's definitely a thing. I can tell you though, at least from our looking at Buell's catalog, they certainly do have that particular rim-mounted rotor. They have that on their Hammerhead. They definitely have it on the Hammerhead, and they definitely don't have it on the Super Touring, and they definitely don't have it on the SuperCruiser anymore, although the SuperCruiser did start with it. So there's a lot of pictures of the SuperCruiser where it has that rim-mounted front brake, and the and the one that I like here, this 1190SX, it also definitely has that brake. So, I mean, they're clearly happy with it. They're digging it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool. I think, and again, if somebody said, okay, you've got the Buell catalog in front of you, pick which one you want, I definitely like that 1190SX. I think that's a beautiful bike.
Yeah.
I think that's super cool. And it looks like it's all cohesive and meant to be together. It's pretty rad.
And I like the sport bike.
Yeah, you like the race bike, the full-on sport bike? Absolutely. So, yeah, that was kind of cool. Now, talking about weird-looking motorcycles. We're going to want to wake John up for this. So, John, we have a...
Well played, sir. Well
Too
played.
early.
Cool.
Too soon. Too soon.
It's cool. All right. Go ahead, Sleepy. Why don't we go ahead and throw this up to the TV so people can see it at home?
Wait, I just threw up in my mouth.
I love this bike.
Yeah, I was excited to see what people thought about it because I have a lot of problems with this.
That headlight looks like a gooey duck.
It looks like
I have a lot of problems with you people.
It looks like, no, you know what it looks like? Wait, I'm going to fuck you guys up. It looks like a tiny scuba diver holding onto the forks and looking forward.
Also
Like,
true.
Yeah, there's two completely unnecessary.
What are you drinking over there?
Love handles below the turn signals
I
in
don't
the
know.
front.
I love everything about this.
Hey,
It's
I
like
will
the
say-
back half of a Grezzo was smashed into a 60s Honda.
Oh, okay, all right.
It
all
looks
right.
Eastern European. It looks like an old MZ or something.
Well, good because that's what it is.
Wait.
So-
Is this the new Jawa?
Java. Yeah, this is the new Java.
That's what I'm
Did
saying.
anyone
So-
else notice this?
Radially finned head or something? I don't understand.
You can't tell because
it's a plastic cover.
I don't know what those covers are.
It's got more plastic on it than a 1980s Magna.
There are some images out there that have a totally different front end on
I
this
know.
thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've definitely seen them and had to filter through a bunch of them too.
They should have made that headlight in SL square, though. They would have really set it off.
Oh man. So yeah, they've got a valve cover protector on there. The only thing I can describe it as. It's a side number plate? I don't know.
It's a wing.
It's completely superfluous venting.
Can you blow it up a little bit?
Oh, Sleepy can.
Can you bring?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, Sleepy can bring it to the whole screen.
The side cover is a travesty.
The side cover is a travesty.
So wait, that's not,
is it?
it's not, it's not I thought it was a parallel V.
No.
No, so those are just, that's not a cylinder head?
It's a
are there a bunch of
730
zip ties or
cc
something?
It's a
parallel twin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder what it would look like without that thing on it. If you could take that.
Probably better.
Dude, if you took off those two silver things, if you took off that silver cover and that silver wannabe wing,
Right.
I mean,
it's okay at that point.
What about the tumors on the front forks?
Well, that's necessary, the poor thing. Don't, it's got,
No, it's not. That is complete plastic fluffery.
that's where the expansion chambers
That
for
is
the
where they
amazing
said,
shocks are.
Remember, it's a Java. We have to make it looks like it has overrider forks. Yeah. Like that whole thing is all just extra plastification. I mean, upside down forks is fine. Putting a whole bunch of plastic covers on them is silly.
Except, are they actually upside down forks?
I think they are.
Okay, they
Yeah,
are. They are.
Yeah, I think they are.
Actually,
That definitely is something.
So I think it has like the Buell radiator, but sideways.
It might, yeah, it definitely is.
At least it's black.
At least it's black,
And that's a
But
better choice, too.
But then just when they made the radiator invisible, they were like, let's put some big silver plastic things on the side to remind you it's there. Yeah, this is again, decisions were made.
so
Do the dropped bar end mirrors come stock?
We are seeing a lot of bikes now that have
Yeah.
that, so they probably do. Yeah, we're seeing Vespas that have those now too. And it's got the rear Nerf guard, it's got the rear bumper on the back tire, so that tells me that it's very close to being Euro 5.5.5 compliant. It's why it's important. For the past multiple years, all of the Java bikes, or the bikes called Javas, have been built by Mahindra Motors in India. And this bike is made in Prague. So this bike is actually made in Prague, Czech.
Scott Dennis says that motor is a copy of the CTX 700.
I do not doubt that one bit. I absolutely agree that that's got to be the case. Totally. 100%. Yeah. So it's a very, very, sorry. It's a significant bike because it is the first time that Java is going to be making a bike in Czechoslovakia or Czechia ever for a very, very long time. Good for them. I think that's awesome. I'm happy to see that.
It's the Buell SuperCruiser of...
Yeah, that's kind of the theme. Did you notice the theme? There was a 730 twin that was announced that looked very much like the little QJ Benelli 302S that we had kicking around. Yeah. And I looked it up and I realized that it was, no, it's completely AI slop. That they were like, oh, there's a news story that Jawa's going to have a new 730cc twin. So somebody had to come up with something. And AI decided that the motorcycle should look like a Harley Sportster.
I wonder, I just saw an advertisement for a Napoleon Bob 700 that literally had airbags.
What? What?
Look, maybe type in new Napoleon Bob or something. Hopefully the ad comes up. It had giant square fucking exhaust pipes, and there was this Asian kid sitting on it, and it looked really low. And then the camera angle goes around the back, and it goes and like comes
really?
up. And
so they chucked an airbag in it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They took the Napoleon Bob and fucking bobbed it even harder.
Really?
It's insane. I don't think they'll sell one in the United States.
Nah,
But I think in like Malaysia or something, it's probably like, Arnold Schwarzenegger bike or something. Yeah. It is insane looking.
No, it definitely is that thing. I think in Asian markets like Thailand and stuff, it's going to do great. I think it's really, really going to do great. One of my major fuck yous to that entire product, all the Napoleon Bobs, has been consistently the suspension. And if you look at that is, my friends, I'm not lying to you. That is the front suspension of this motorcycle. Okay. Now, do you know what's inside a fork?
What?
Do you know what's inside your front suspension?
A spring?
A big fucking spring.
Right.
And do you know what's around the big fucking spring?
Oils.
A whole bunch of oil.
Yeah.
And do you know that's all you need to dampen the front end of a motorcycle? A shock, a spring, and some oil, and you're fine. This thing has a parasitic shock absorber on the outside of the shock absorber. Again, we heard you like shock absorbers, so we put a shock absorber on your shock absorber.
BMW would like a word with you.
BMW would like a word with you, by the way. That's what the freaking thing looks like. And it is atrocious. And that entire thing in front, that angular, weird, edgy looking thing, is just a plastic cover.
Does it move upward?
It gives the impression that it does, but it does not. So how this works is the...
the fork behind it moves.
Yes.
That thing. So that's not even connected at the bottom.
It's an illusion.
It's just a fucking piece of plastic.
That's all it is.
Fake girder fork.
It is a fake girder fork.
Wow.
This is the Napoleon Bob.
This is the Napoleon Bob.
But this is not the new one that I saw, unless it is the front of it.
They make them a whole bunch of different ways.
Okay.
Right. They make them a whole bunch of different ways.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Right.
See some of these fucking crazy looking things?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And this was the Benda that we saw. That was the crazy one that we saw. That's the inline 700cc.
With the vacuum cleaner nose.
The vacuum cleaner snout. Yeah. Again, these are bikes that exist on this planet, and they are here, and they're apparently people are buying them. Or maybe they're not. I don't know.
I don't know. I was in Vietnam and Thailand.
Right.
I saw 0 Bendas.
Oh, what a segue.
That was a brilliant segue.
So,
what is the number one bike in Vietnam?
Nameless Chinese scooter.
Nameless. Are they all 49 cc's or
no? It's everything, right?
Really?
Like, it's just oceans. Like you can't differentiate individual scooters.
Okay.
From the ocean of scooter.
Oh, really?
Especially in the north, right? We were in Hanoi, and it's like, there are no traffic lights in the center of Hanoi.
Okay, you just go for it.
And so the traffic just comes in every direction, and it goes through the intersection, and somehow people get where they're going.
Okay.
And when you have to walk across the street, you just go. Like, there are no gaps.
You don't look. You just go.
And our guide literally was like, put your hand up and start walking. And don't stop walking. Because if they know where you're going to be, they'll go around you.
They'll go around you.
But if you're if you're erratic, they will hit you.
They'll hit you because you're not playing by the rule.
Yeah. But no, it's just oceans of everything from 50 to 250 cc. But I say like the most common are like the 70 to 125 range.
Yeah.
And it's just just everything. I mean, there are Yamahas and there are Hondas
apparently
and whatever. Like
the Honda
you know.
Airblade is their number one selling.
Yeah, they're a gajillions of Airblades.
Yeah,
yes.
apparently that is their number one selling bike in Vietnam.
Yes, a gajillion Airblades.
Yeah, Airblades.
And I think those are what, a 120. There's a 125 and there's like a 175.
This is a 125 for sure.
And I think the big one is the 175.
Yeah, so I think if I remember correctly, like there's some big rules that kick in where you're not allowed to be over 175 cc's.
Yeah,
So-
I mean there are full size motorcycles and even maxi scooters, but they're rare.
Yeah, I can't even imagine being in that kind of traffic. I dig it. I think it's cool, but
I don't recommend it.
That's what I was going to ask you. Did you get any seat time?
I did.
Okay.
what'd you rent?
So so you've all seen the Top Gear Vietnam special.
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
Okay,
One of
all
the best pieces of filmography ever.
No question, right?
Yeah.
And so, that was a few years ago because I'm old.
Yeah.
And I, we've been watching a bunch of stuff and then what are we going to do? My dad, so we went with my parents. My dad's a big motorcyclist. We're like, we're going to do something. And so at one point we were going from the city of Hue, Hue, to Hoi An, which is Hue is an old capital. Hoi An is this is in the center of Vietnam.
No way.
No way. Exactly.
Right.
And between the two is the Hai Van Pass,
Okay.
which
All
is
right.
on that Top Gear episode when Jeremy finally is like, oh, I truly understand why motorcycles are wonderful. It's when he's riding on the Hai Van Pass, right? It's this, you're on this mountain pass along the edge of the ocean. So one way it's mountains, one way it's ocean, it's unbelievable, right? And so
Did you do the amphibious part? That's all I want to know.
honestly, the traffic would have been better. So we rented the motorcycles in Hue, and we're going to ride to Hoi An. And so I was on a CB 150.
Okay.
And my dad was on a Versus 300.
Okay.
Nice.
So like,
Nice
and I
bike.
was like, I thought both of these are like appropriate. They're not,
Right.
we're not on GSs because that's not what you do there.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I wanted a motorcycle. It wasn't, I wanted something, right? And I think in retrospect now, having done it, I think when I texted Sleepy, I was like, I can tell you about the wrong way to do the Hai Van Pass.
Yeah.
So there were 7 of us,
And that's
right?
from where to where?
Hoi An.
Hoi An.
H-O-I-A-N.
All the way there.
Yeah, that's right. It's
Okay,
about,
yeah, I
it's
get-
only about 60, 70 kilometers.
Yeah, right. Okay, yeah.
But because there were 7 of us,
And they just inconveniently put a mountain in between there.
correct.
Right. Okay.
And,
got it.
and historically, this is a very interesting geography, right? Because this is one of the reasons that like the Mongols didn't get to southern Vietnam.
Oh, because
is that
mountain.
they were stopped by sort of the local Cham people or whatever in Hue, but also yes, mountains. Anyway, so we're like, yeah, we're going to do that. It's going to be awesome. We're going to do the Hai Van Pass, but there are 5 other people who don't ride
Yeah.
on the trip with
Okay.
us, right?
All right.
And so
Yeah.
they're in the van, the tour van.
Right.
Okay, no problem. We'll follow you. We say to the tour van, because the tour van, they're Vietnam local guide, whatever, they're going to drive and they're going to take us where we need to be because I don't speak Vietnamese or read Vietnamese street signs or any of those things. So like, it'll be great. We'll follow the van. We'll make it really easy.
Yeah.
Well, it turns out there are enough vehicles in Vietnam that when you're on a motorcycle, you should be in the right lane and you should be going 20 miles an hour faster than anything.
Oh,
with 4
so that's
wheels.
just a rule.
Yeah.
Okay.
And when you were on a motorcycle behind a van trying to stay with the van,
Right.
everybody in Vietnam has no fucking idea what you're doing.
Oh, so you're confusing them simply because you're not where you're supposed to be.
Correct.
Just like the walking in traffic thing you said,
Yeah.
Yeah.
The expectation is broken.
Yeah.
So the Hai Van Pass itself was unbelievable, right? It's fairly rural.
I
You're riding
just
up-
pulled
it's
it up
like-
on a map. Sleepy, can you throw this up on the board? Because I'm curious. Is this route, this QL49 that I'm seeing?
Let me see. Can you scroll up and to the right? So it's like along the ocean.
So there's Hue.
Yes.
So there's Hue.
We went from Hue straight sort of northeast toward the water.
Okay. Over here.
Yeah, and then south.
And it's
toward
and
Hoi
then
An.
south. Okay. All right. So you stayed coastal?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you go around and see that bay that you're on right there.
Yes. The Dam Cow High.
Yeah. The Hai Van Pass is like right there.
Wow. Cool.
So it's an unbelievable view.
Yeah.
And you ride around this bay and it's truly beautiful. But and actually keep going. Is that Da Nang right there?
So Da Nang is here. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So sorry.
Yeah.
Hoi An is the next town south.
Right here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's
So you've now discovered the other real problem,
yes.
which is lunch for the family was in downtown Da Nang.
It would have to be. Right.
Da Nang is the largest city in central Vietnam.
Yeah. I've seen the movies. Yeah.
The problem with that is after lunch, when we left Da Nang, like we went to a museum and we're like, okay, we should probably get on the road toward Hoi An.
Yeah.
It's 4:30, 5 p.m. and it starts raining and it gets dark and it's rush hour in the largest city in central Vietnam.
Yeah.
And we're on motorcycles in the wrong lane with the, yeah.
Oh,
So
shit.
It was
What kind of gear you got on? Flip flops.
what I'm wearing.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I was wearing these shoes. They're sneakers.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, but it was, but also like, I didn't carry helmets and shit. Like we were on, it was a family 3-week vacation.
Sure.
So, the rental guys were like, oh yeah, we have helmets. No problem.
Yeah. They give you a couple of batting
visor.
helmets.
Yeah. No visor.
Yeah, just
Right.
like a clamshell.
Yeah, total clamshell helmet.
Yeah.
And so I'm there and it starts raining and then it starts to get dark. And we're trying to stay with this van with the rest of the family in it. And there are literally 20 million people. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a lot of people.
Is it, I think Da Nang is 4 million people or something in that city. And it's rush hour. And we're on the highway. And we're behind the van in the wrong lane. So all these cars are coming up behind us and honking.
Sure.
Like, why are you guys in this lane?
You're not
right?
supposed to be there.
And then people are on motorcycles like cutting across us because we're in the wrong space.
Yeah.
So at one point we pulled up to a stoplight, trying to stay with this van, and my dad looks over to me and goes, "I just hit somebody." I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Somebody on a scooter cut across me, and I didn't have anywhere to go, so I clipped him."
Because you weren't supposed to be behind the van.
Right. And so he was like, I was like, "Are you okay?" He's like, "Yeah, I think so."
The guy just
It was
goes
like,
behind the van.
Yeah, no, we just clipped him.
Didn't expect anybody to be there.
That's right.
Wow.
So we finally get into Hoi An, which is a charming, charming city. And the tour guide like finds where we're supposed to drop these motorcycles off, and it's in this little alley, right? And so we finally go down, I drop off the motorcycles, and I told my dad, I'm like, go get in the van with everybody else and go to the hotel. I'll meet you there. It's like a 10-minute walk away. And I turn in the motorcycles, and I walk out of there, and I look down at my hands are just like this.
yeah.
Right? Like I'm just like, and so I'm walking to the hotel to meet everybody, and there's this local like bar and restaurant, right? And I walk into the bar, and I walk in, and I'm like, beer? And the guy's like, yeah, beer. And I'm like, how much? And he tells me, and I'm like, here.
Yeah.
And he just hands me the beer, and I just sit down, and I just stare at the wall for 10 minutes. And I'm like, all right, I'll go meet the family in a few.
Yeah, you gotta decompress after that.
It was epic.
Yeah, that's. I want to do. There's a karaoke competition in Da Nang.
Yeah, Da Nang was a cool city.
Well, I figure it's the perfect opportunity for me to go in and just lay some Roger Miller down.
No, but I just like the
Absolutely.
fact that you're willing to travel.
Denang me. Oh, to take a
God.
rope and hang me. Sorry.
The flight you would have to take was how long that joke took to get to the punchline.
I took the express route.
Yeah.
But the ride was unbelievable.
That
right?
sounds
I mean,
cool.
we got to go through a bunch of like rice paddies and rural fields, and you see the water buffalo, and then up the mountain. It was unbelievable.
And
it was
so
truly,
I've
truly
heard from a
magical.
lot of my friends that have gone to Vietnam that it is still astronomically affordable.
Yes.
That it is still almost like a little insulting how cheap everything is.
That's I've been thinking about this a lot the last couple of weeks because we went to Thailand after, and Thailand is not expensive for Americans, but it's a different level. Whereas when you're in Vietnam, especially in the north, like Ho Chi Minh City, Saigon is a little more westernized. It's a little more expensive, but like Hoi An, Central Vietnam, and Hanoi, the bowl of the best freaking pho you've ever had is $1.
Wow.
Oh, dude.
All right. That's cool.
I love pho, dude.
Quick question.
It's unbelievable.
Did you get to ride the Versys 300 at all?
I didn't. My dad, a friend of mine has one, but I didn't ride the one there.
Did you ride? Have you ridden one?
Yeah.
You like it?
I think they're fine. They're pretty gutless.
Fine. Fine doesn't sound good.
Look, I think it depends what you're going for, right? Like, I'm a pretty big guy.
No.
So, I mean,
Oh, really?
I was bigger a year ago, John.
Okay.
But I mean, like, look, they're not. It's not super fast, but actually, by that I mean, like, it's also not. Like
Is
if
it
you're
fun?
used to sitting, yeah, it's super fun.
Okay.
But if you're used to sitting on like a GS or something, it's a smaller frame.
Oh, yeah,
is
yeah,
what I was
yeah.
like. It's like not.
I get that.
It's not full size in a
Sure,
way. It's
sure.
like no, that's a super fun bike.
Okay.
Transmission's awesome because it's Kawasaki.
Because it's a Kawasaki.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did it cost to rent the bike?
Jesus Christ.
I think the rental we just did. It was actually just like a day rental. I think it was less than $100 for both of them.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. But now, what the part I left out is when we left way, the guy drops off the bike. So first of all, I had rented 2 Versys 300s, and he texts me the day before. He WhatsApps me, and he goes, "Hey, one of the Versys is in the shop. Is it okay if I bring you something else?" And I was like, "I mean, what choice do I have, right?" So he brought me the CB. It was cool. Like the CB was fine, but he drops them off, and they're like, "All right, we'll see you in it was a one-way rental. We'll see you in Hoi An or whatever." And we get on the bike and we start going, and mine won't idle.
Oh.
Like the CB just won't idle.
Yeah.
Like I start it and it dies. Start it and it dies. Like, well, this is interesting. And so the first like 20 minutes, I'm every stoplight.
Especially considering you're going to go through about 275 stoplights.
Correct.
Yeah.
With a bunch of traffic, right?
The wrong way.
Right. Yes, absolutely. So I'm like fighting the idle, and I'm like, "Hey, how's your bike?" Over to my dad, and he's like, "Well, I'm pretty sure the clutch has about 6 minutes left on it." It's like- and he was like, "Did you look at the tires of the bikes before we got on them?" I said, "No, I didn't want to." He said, "They're not good." No. It was like,
Let's hope it doesn't rain.
yeah, pretty much. So,
Yeah, but you've ridden at Mid Ohio, so
it's fine. Yeah, no big deal. It's totally fine. No, it's a total life experience riding your motorcycle with your dad through insanity of traffic in central Vietnam. I wouldn't trade it for the world. It was awesome.
That sounds amazing.
That's fucking
that
good,
really,
dude.
really does sound good. How long was your trip?
The whole trip was like 22 days.
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
yeah. So my mom has always wanted to go. So we went to Vietnam. Then we flew to Cambodia.
Yeah.
Saw Angkor Wat. We actually rode 4-wheelers. We actually rented, did a quad bike tour through the rice fields and saw like the sunset, and that was super fun. And then after that, we went to Thailand. And if I went back for a motorcycle trip, I'd go to northern Thailand.
I would think that Thailand would be motorcycle central because they're all made there.
And well, it's also it's very obvious now that I've been there that they industrialized and westernized much sooner than the others. Right, the others are doing that now.
Yeah.
But the roads in Thailand are just impeccable. Like the pavement's amazing. The roads through the pack, because we did some of the mountain stuff, like for the touristy thing. Yeah. I mean, they're just the kind of roads you're like, oh God, I wish I was on a bike.
And I don't think we blew them up in the 60s and 70s either.
Also that.
Well, no, but they had I do reviews sometimes for this dude called It's Better on the Road, and he runs this out of there somewhere like in the mountains out there. And he said that like their city guy is totally into motorcycling and likes motorcycling tourism. So like 10 years ago, they repaved all the roads in the mountains, all in the hills and stuff. And they made it so like he's like it's a fucking Mecca paradise. For
it's
riding.
absolutely unbelievable. Like the roads are just, and the mountains are gorgeous. And even in the winter, which is what it is now for them, it's like the coldest we got. We went to one night. We spent up in the mountains to get up and see the sunrise over Laos. Yeah, and like at the lowest, it was in like the 50s.
Wow, man,
that's perfect.
That is perfect.
Yeah,
That was lousy weather.
Nice. Hey, quick on the buttons.
Go back.
Oh,
to
that
plate,
sounds really. I mean, that sounds really freaking cool. I think I'd probably die in traffic looking at other motorcycles. I would definitely be. I'd be the guy who'd be like, "Oh, did you see that?" And then I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm just getting blasted.
We only saw one person fall on a scooter the whole time we were there.
That's the guy that rode in front of your dad.
Yeah. No. Apparently that person actually got out okay.
Oh, no, they didn't see him.
They had no idea what happened to him. Yeah, that's great. Alex Hearn says, "Guys, did you shoot Tom with a tranquilizer dart? Hope not. He has paralyzed. Hopes not. He is paralyzed as he has grown on me in this podcast. Kind of like a fungus. Kidding, Tom. You bring a lot of knowledge to this group.
Cool.
Hey,
I guess it's time for shots.
Tom's exactly.
Shot.
Tom's trying to settle down a little bit.
Don't you have a button?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Wait.
What?
There we go.
Oh, Tanuki-san.
I'm empty.
Oh man, I gotta.
We still have
replenish, too.
to fix your spelling on that.
On Tanuki.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. Tanuki-san.
That's my kind of spelling.
It is. It gets the point
my own
across.
fucking language.
It gets the point across. Did anybody did anybody not see the Honda CB750 that cleared Mecum auction for better than $250,000?
That was gorgeous.
I think that is, though, beyond being gorgeous, though, like what it is the only reason that it got that price.
I stopped bidding at $275.
But like I think the prominence that came with that being the first fucking 750 in the United States.
Yes.
That's why it got that price.
Bob Hansen.
Yeah.
I think that because of that being a Honda North America project, right, and I would be interested to ask our friend Chris McGee from Motor Marini, because his dad worked for Honda at that time. So that would be an interesting thing to know if there was a connection there. If he was aware of that when he was a kid growing up, if that bike was kicking around.
So that
Modelo time, fool.
bike was a Vic World bike.
That was yours.
No. I can't drink it.
I'm sorry, what did you say, John?
That bike was a Vic World bike, so Vic had that bike, and it was kind of a restoration. But he pointed out a lot of things in that second video I posted. Like, you can tell that it's a prototype because one side panel is different than the other side panel, and neither of those side panels is anything like what is on a standard CB750, including the emblem is like an emblem that you've never seen before.
That was what killed me. Is the more that I looked about that bike, the more that you'd say, like, I've seen 1,000 CB750s, and John has a half cast that we rescued out of a basement, and I was shocked looking at the half cast of all these pieces that I was like,
That's different.
I've owned a bunch of 1971 CB750s and stuff, and looking at John's half cast, the side panel's totally different, the seat's different. Like, there's a lot of things on that motorcycle that are different.
KO.
And the KO is definitely its own thing. And to then look at this bike and just be like, oh shit, like on your bike, the seat opens backwards, right? And that's a cool thing. And that's
the key
an
is
interesting
recessed.
thing.
The way the mirrors are on there's just so much different stuff about it.
Yeah, it is a really, really interesting bike. Your bike is so early in the production that there are so many things that got figured out. And it does bring into clear focus about the bikes that were being sold in 1969 and bikes that sold in 1970. They weren't done yet.
No stampings on the exhaust.
Yeah,
like
they were just
like the HM300 or HM.
There's nothing there.
It's nothing.
Right. And that bike is a really good example of like, wow, they really didn't have it totally together yet. Right. Whereas most motorcycles we see, they've been out, they've been thought about, they've been worked out, the tooling's all done, they build the thing, and by the time you get yours, if your VIN number says 00003, you're like, I got the third one off the line. No, dude, you did not get the third one off the line.
That bike that I have is one of the first 3,000 die-cast motors, but the rest of the bike is still prototype too, like that has the wrinkled tank that a Sandcast would have and stuff like that. There's a lot of cool stuff.
There's a lot of cool and different stuff on your bike. This particular bike,
but this one's even more.
This one's bonkers. This
like
is
mismatched panel.
bonkers.
One side panel is one way, one's the other way. They were trying out different ways.
Yeah, there's so many attention to detail little nuggets on this thing that's crazy. But as we were talking before last week, we were talking about how so many bikes went for so cheap at the auction. That 100th anniversary Harley Davidson, full electric glide bagger, everything, sold for $3,250.
The ZX7R sold for $3,000. I would have bought it.
The Skull Bandit?
Yeah.
The Skull Bandit. I was like, what? Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
There was I was not watching that auction. I would have bought a couple of those fucking bikes at those prices.
The prices were crazy low. So that means the people that were there, and remember, you guys register with Mecum. You can bid remotely.
Yeah.
It doesn't cost you nothing.
But I can tell you, when you look at that video that Vic talked about the bike, he was talking about, I was just at this one show, and he's like, well, you never know where it'll go, because they were asking him how much he expected to get, and he's like, I don't know, But he was talking about like millions, and I'm like, he might be disappointed by his number.
And that's the point.
Yeah,
and the point is,
yes, he got 285,000. I think he was thinking it was going to go way more.
How much joy did you get watching some of those ridiculously stupid choppers that like the guy has 120 grand into and they got like $5,000?
Yeah,
like,
that's just market correction.
But it was so good. But even the one was like one of those brand new giant wheel 36-inch. Like they're still like people are still building them. And that
Crazy.
thing brought like 15 grand, man.
I like the video you sent of Jay Leno talking about his OCC chopper.
That's not the first time he said that. He's been pretty.
He's like, this thing is garbage. It's
He's been
never meant to be
pretty
written.
open about his experience with those Pro Street style choppers, where he's just been like, "Yeah, they're just fucking garbage. They're just bolted together." You know.
He said that
they're
the
in a
whole
hurry.
bike was
Yeah.
fused through the taillight.
Yeah.
And so if you blew the back
Blew the taillight,
taillight,
everything
the
went
whole
away.
thing fucking
Yeah,
died.
I completely agree. I can't. I've always liked Jay, and I like him more after he said that. But here's the weird thing about this auction, because sure, this bike sold for $1 jillion. You know, it sold for $250,000. But John's right when John said that they expected it would get more, because there is a long history in Mecum of bikes pulling in bigger numbers than that. And despite this being a huge sum of money, $285,000, there have been other bikes that have sold for more than that. And there have been Excelsior Hendersons that have sold for well over $1.5 million. There have been Vincent Black Shadows that have sold for $1 million at Mecum. Mecum has had kind of a reputation where fools and their money are soon parted.
But honestly, that bike, I mean, a Vincent Black Shadow, you know, there weren't a whole lot of them made, but it still wasn't a prototype of the Vincent.
No.
You know what
Exactly.
I mean? Like, that bike
this bike is
very much
literally one
a-
of one.
Yeah.
And when you have a motorcycle that's one of one, and it's not just one of something, it's one of the world's first ever superbike motorcycles. It is a Honda that ushered in an entire style that we're still using today.
Right. So all the dudes in their garage right now
Right.
looking at their 750, rubbing their dicks.
There's no
Yours
precedent-
ain't getting
there's,
it.
There's no precedent for the sale of that bike, though.
Right.
So next time it comes to market, whether it be a year down the road, 5, 10, 20 years down the road,
Yeah.
it's going to bring more money.
Yeah, I think you're right.
What is going on?
Yeah.
But they had to set the bar somewhere. And if this guy thought it was going to be $2 million or whatever, $1 million, and it turned out to be $250,000, well,
I remember a few years ago, a guy brought out a prototype Volkswagen Beetle. We're talking about the World War II had just ended, and they were in the process of taking the prototype that was being built during the war, which obviously they ran out of money, and they had to stop production. But after the war, when they started production again, they came out with, there were several different versions of prototype Volkswagens. There was more than just one. There were all kinds of crazy, kooky Volkswagens that ultimately gave us the first Beetle. And one of those cars that was pulled out of a museum that was going out of business in Germany came out, and I watched the guys race to $1 million to pay for it. And I mean, and that wasn't just the only prototype of a Volkswagen Beetle. There's probably 40 different prototypes of Volkswagen Beetles because they didn't know which way they were headed.
Now, there was one motorcycle that I thought sold particularly well that you mentioned,
The Dragons?
the Flying Dragon.
So that's a big deal. So for people that don't know about the Honda Flying Dragons, the reason the Flying Dragon is a tough bike in the collector market is nobody knows how many were made. Okay? Because the Honda Flying Dragon is 3 items. It's a gas tank and it's 2 side panels. And they came in 4 different color combinations. And some of them were quite beautiful. And others of them looked like you sneezed on your gas tank.
The green and purple.
There were some bad ones,
Yeah.
right? But
I love it.
the trick with this is Honda was trying to kickstart sales because their product had kind of been on the shelves for a little while. People were tired of looking at them. So rather than redesigning the CL, they said, let's do some custom tins.
let's put together a package.
Let's put together a package. And they sent the dealers as many as the dealers wanted to order, but they weren't serial numbered. So there is no record that people have been able to find out exactly how many Flying Dragon kits existed, because no motorcycle left the Honda factory as a Flying Dragon. They left the factory as a yellow CB or a blue C or a CL or a red CL or whatever. They left the factory with whatever they were. And then at the dealership decided to put on the hardware. And that's why it's extremely difficult to find out the value of these Flying Dragons. What I think is hilarious is if you look at the various different lots that were sold of Flying Dragons, and I got to say, the price on these things, if you said, oh, I've got a Flying Dragon, therefore it's worth $71,000, you, my friend, are wrong. Just at Mecum, I have seen over the past 6 years, I've seen Flying Dragons go for between $4,000 and $71,000. It's all depending on who's bidding. It all depends on who's the guy that happens to be there.
Well, and the tanks aren't all exactly the same,
That's right.
That process of doing that.
They're all unique.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're completely
So you
individual.
could get a really good one, or
Yep.
maybe you could get a one of, I don't like the
Now,
way that one turned out.
if you throw this one up to the screen, you'll see this one sold for $71,500, which is the highest a Flying Dragon's ever sold for. But this bike itself is immaculate. So the bike that it's on is immaculate. And I think it's the best color of all the different color of Flying Dragons.
Can you click on that one picture of the tank itself?
The tank close up. Yeah.
Right? Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Now, about 15 years ago, a guy in Vietnam said that he found a cache of these
Tins.
Flying Dragon tins and side panels. And the world kind of got pretty excited about that. And he had a bunch of them, like over a dozen. And they were in the yellow and in the red inked up Honda boxes. And the world kind of freaked out and people paid a lot of money for those. It was found out pretty quickly that he made each and every one of them.
Oh, yeah.
That he completely spoofed the Honda Flying Dragon.
Oh, good for him.
Because it's not hard to do. And he was selling those kits. The first couple that he sold for big, big money. But by the end of it, when people realized that he was making them himself, then they were like, okay, I'll give you $700 for 3 tins. Right?
Yeah.
And he said, okay.
It cost me $12. So
Exactly. And so the real problem now is that upset the market because those exist. They're out. Nobody can deny that happened. So whatever number actually were produced, we know that there have been at least a dozen or 24 forgeries.
Fakes.
So you'd think that would drive the price down a lot, but not this time. That bike sold for a stinking ton of money.
what kind of provenance did it have?
There is no provenance. So with a Flying Dragon, there's just the bike.
Yeah.
Because the VIN to the bike, if you did a VIN search on the bike and you even had the original sale order on the bike, it might say that it was a red bike.
You could put those tins on any bike.
Yes, you can.
Like
There's nothing special about a Flying Dragon other than your dealer decided that he was having trouble selling blue ones, and he threw the Flying Dragon tins on the blue one.
Well, I
that's
guess
like
the way you could establish provenance, though, is if
dealer.
if you had a receipt
had the
from where
invoice.
you bought the kit, or you have a picture of Grandpa sitting on top of that bike
Yes.
in 1975 or something.
Absolutely.
We have
Absolutely.
our first $1,000 question.
All right, here we go.
What?
Jabroni salad for $10. I'm looking to buy my first 2-stroke. The market is soft. Yes, it is. And prices are right. Yes, they are. I've been looking at DT 175s. There's a 78 and a 75 for sale on or around me. Parts availability is pretty solid. Any
Gotchas.
Gotchas. Okay. DT 175s. They're fucking
It's a solid bike.
Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah. I mean, you go to Mid-Ohio, there's about 9,000 of them.
Yeah.
Right?
Once.
It depends on the price, really, because that's not a hard bike to find.
No,
I was going to say, in the
really
chat, Scott Dennis basically says,
Trying to
you
think
could-
of. I think the DT is a 5-speed, but like a KE 175, I think is a 6-speed.
Yeah,
or maybe
Ks are
vice-
great. I like
Yeah,
Ks.
so I mean, and it's a good bike. Single cylinder. Yeah, that's the Yamaha DT 175.
I mean, if it's your first 2-stroke and you don't want to spend a lot of coin, the KE100 is great too, man. That's believe it or not, it's a 60-mile-an-hour bike.
Yeah,
man.
but I have a problem with the KE100, and the KE100 has the carburetor built into the engine cases.
Yeah.
because
and
it's a rotary disc.
The rotary disc. And the only reason I have a problem with that is that is a bit of a pain in the ass to get to.
Yeah, you're not.
So
yeah, that's
every
true.
time you want to clean it or you need to adjust it, that side cover's got to come off.
Yeah, that is the downside.
It's a little annoying.
But it protects the carb too, though.
Definitely
a little bit,
does.
You know, I
And
don't
it's
know.
a rotary,
Yeah.
which is really cool.
I like the way rotaries ride. Like
I do too.
They're fun.
That's what got me hooked on it. It just has that little zzz. I
Zzz.
don't know.
You have a key?
Actually, a lot of the reason why I'm quiet tonight is I want to. Now that Sleepy's all wound up and had his fourth.
Yeah.
Now I don't need to play anymore.
No, that's true. Now, here's what I will say about this. The DT175 is a great bike, but it has my least favorite exhaust system at Mid-Ohio. These things make a fucking cackle.
Oh,
They sound like a fucking skeleton jerking off in a jerry can.
at 7 a.m.
They just make the worst fucking noise. There is nothing nice about the exhaust note of that particular little fucking bullshit 1-inch D-shaped outlet on these
And when you
mufflers.
buy that bike, it makes your bladder have to piss at 6:30, and so you always kickstart that fucker and ride it to the bathroom, waking up everybody.
Yeah.
You know what the answer is?
What?
CR500.
Oh, yeah, right. It's always the answer. No matter what the question is, CR500
I almost was
going
going to say, I know you could always leap way forward to like a liquid-cooled CR125 or something like that.
Right.
But I don't know if you're getting the DT, does it have a street legal title? And is that what you're looking for, or are you just looking for,
Well, and keep in mind,
right. Street or dirt.
Right here?
Yeah.
they made a shit ton of DTs.
There you go.
I mean,
You
there's
need something street legal, man.
Okay.
yeah, I need something street legal too, right?
Can you backdoor a CR500 into it?
Why would you? If you're going to get a DT, just keep in mind it can go freeway speeds, but you shouldn't do it because you will put a hole in the cylinder.
You get a GT550.
I didn't like my KE.
Too many cylinders,
the
too many
KE
carburetors.
Stay away
For a
from
first one, yeah. All right, fair enough.
Too many,
I would stay away from a KE 250. That one I had a busted shift drum, and then I started looking at it, and I found a lot of used busted shift drums on eBay. I'm like, oh, why are you selling this shift drum? It's busted. It's not even. It's no good. But people are still trying to sell them.
Yeah, I thought, and I could be wrong, but I believe my friend Alex Tazzi kind of went through a run with DTs, and a couple other friends have kind of gone through runs with DTs. I was kind of the impression that they were all turn signal equipped.
Mm-hmm. A DT is a dirt
trail.
Dirt trail.
Yeah,
or
dirt. Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
yet.
But I think every DT I've ever encountered in my life
A daily traveler.
did come with turn signals.
Dick Tracy.
So even if it was, one of those later ones sneaking into the 80s, but I think that it's a really good bike.
I like my TS 250.
Yeah.
Oh,
another great bike.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. I think the magic of the DT though is that any part you need for it's going to be $5.
What was that the yellow one with the green stripe on the tank?
Yeah, well, mine was orange with a green stripe.
Oh, that's a fucking sexy bike, too.
It was nice.
Oh, that was a good-looking bike, man.
But I didn't have a title for it, so I pushed it
Oh, that's right.
along.
Damn.
It is funny how many DTs they made. That brand, it was built well into the 80s, and then it went away, and then it came back in the late 80s, and then it went away, and it came back in the 90s. And like even that, that DT, if I pull this picture up, most of you are going to recognize this thing, especially if you've done any traveling. This is the DT that pretty much anywhere you go where it's hot year round, they're going to be these.
God, it looks like an XT, doesn't it?
It does. And it absolutely does. But the trick is going to be this is a two-stroke. Right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Because I had an XT 225,
Yeah.
and that was like most gutless motorcycle I've ever ridden.
Big bloke on a small bike.
God, it's awful.
But they
Are those 125s or 170?
these are 125s, and they also did them as a 175, depending on what market you were in.
Ooh, yeah.
And they were just a super. When I lived in Germany, you could buy these for like $300.
I was wondering why they looked familiar.
Yeah.
I had a Yamaha AG 125 for a while that had been bootlegged out of South America into New Orleans.
That's what they are.
And it literally is an
that
AG
is the
with a
same
two-stroke
motorcycle
motor.
as that. It's AG because it's agricultural. Yeah. That's, but they're everywhere.
Now, they did have the DT 400s, which were, ooh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
nah.
Well, I think that's a good one. I think that's worth $10. I totally agree. I think it's a great bike to buy. You should buy both of them. If you can get two, buy two. Why not? And build yourself a really awesome Franken bike, and then bring what's left to Mid-Ohio.
Don't buy two strokes. Just buy a 4-stroke.
And Pete makes a good point.
Oh, we were talking about that when my wife met me. I had a whole flock of two-strokes. Right? I loved two-strokes for a long time, and when she met me, she was like, "Yeah, but I noticed after we got together, you started selling off your two-strokes." And I said, "Well, I was getting sex on the regular, so
Yeah, right.
didn't have time to rebuild top ends."
I really enjoyed two strokes for a period of time.
Right.
But then, just making them run right, and then knowing that they probably had bad seals and stuff, and 100-year-old rubber gaskets.
I went through that weird period where I just recently, I got that S3. Remember when I picked up that S3 in California and brought it back?
Yep.
Like, that was one where it's like, oh, it was so much fun to ride it around in California where all two-strokes are forbidden by, EPA rules. And it was just fun to be like that weird outlier, clankety-clanking around, making the weird triple noises. And everyone was like, oh, my God, it's two-stroke. Oh, my God, look, don't we have to call somebody? Right? And riding around for a few weeks in California with a two-stroke was really fun on a street bike. But then when I got it back here, and I was just like, it was 3 times a two-stroke. It was 3 two-stroke motors hooked together. And you're like, God damn it, this thing is never really happy.
After a while, too, I got tired of just smelling like two-stroke every time I rode the bike or started it up.
That's what I thought you were going to say about your wife, but she was like,
oh, yeah.
Yeah, I smell two-stroke on that guy.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, I don't need to track women anymore. I'll get rid of it.
For a second there, I was a little worried where that was going, Pete.
I was like, what are you talking about my wife and my smelling?
Get your name out of your mouth.
Yeah, it is that thing where I am always looking at weird two-strokes and going, why not?
But we got
totally
a
do that.
weird two-stroke owner right over here to our right.
Oh yeah, your fucking bike, dude.
Your RL, you got an RL 250, right?
No, it's the Yamaha.
Yeah,
Yeah.
T. What is it? T. What is
TY.
TY.
Okay.
Dude, we were talking.
I put the plate on it a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah,
You
dude.
just like ride it down the street. People give you a pretty funny look.
Which year is yours?
It's a 74.
A 74. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
like
that was
yellow
the
and
bike. You
white.
leave
Yeah,
it
the
in
yellow and
first
white.
gear, and like you just let it idle, and you just climb things.
Yeah. You just point it in a direction,
Yeah.
and it doesn't stop until you pull the clutch in.
No, it was so fun. He was like, "You want to ride this?" I was like, oh, "Okay."
Okay.
And then after like 1 second, I'm like out there riding. I'm like, "No, you can't have this back."
No, it's too much fun.
Yeah, no,
you
the thing's awesome.
You can throw the picture up for the folks at home. They're cool
that's
bikes.
the one.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Mine's not that pretty, but
Yeah, it doesn't have to be.
No, it's
Yeah.
perfect. It's perfect enough because you can actually ride it without feeling.
yeah, I
bad.
don't feel bad, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if I drop it, if
And I
would,
say that
like-
in the nicest way, not don't.
No, totally. That's why I bought it the way I did. Is I'm like, my parents actually have a lot, 5 acres, about a 5-minute walk from my house.
Okay. Nice.
But it like you actually have to cross like a major road.
Yeah.
I'm like, I got a plate.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was like,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
totally legal to drive this thing to my parents' lot and then just like screw around in the woods.
Yeah. That's
Well,
awesome.
and I like the vintage trials bikes like that because they still do have a seat. They're not all sway back.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
don't have to stand up on them like to ride them.
You
Like
can
as-
ride it like a trail bike.
Yes.
Absolutely. And it has that Yamaha exhaust that I hate so much. It makes that exact sound. Yamaha patented.
The 250 help. The bigger bore
The
helps.
bigger bore helps a lot.
it's way quieter. That thing was probably kind of
It's not.
pleasant.
Yeah, it's not loud.
No,
Yeah.
not bad at all.
It's a very, very cool bike.
It's like
and
somebody
we talked
banging
about,
on
what
a
is that
garbage
front
can.
wheel, 29 inches?
Yeah, something like that.
Fun fact: that is the first bike that I got my first burn scar from.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my brother had one.
Those bikes will do that too.
Yeah.
Did you guys, were you two up on the gas tank?
Yeah, I think I was 5.
Yeah.
I like how you're supposed to be balancing on like cliff faces and shit, and the front forks are literally like 9 millimeters.
They're spaghetti.
It helps
So-
you
so-
wiggle over things.
My dad had one when I was in high school, and I mean, it was perfect. It had been totally redone by a shop near him, and I mean, it was they had sourced everything. The thing was immaculate, and a buddy of mine had a like a cabin up in Colorado, and he had like a modern gas. He's like, dude, bring your trials bike. We'll go camping. We'll go hang out at my cabin, and we'll like ride up the mountain. So I brought the trials bike up, and I was like, Dad, can I borrow the place? He's like, yeah, just don't wreck it. It's like It's like perfectly restored vintage trials bike, and we're out on this little trail, and it gets super narrow, and I'm like, I don't think I can do that. And my buddy was better on a bike than I was. So it was like he rode his bike, and then he walked back, and I was like, can you ride my bike through this like narrow section? Because I don't think I can do it. And he's like, yeah. So he gets on this bike, and he starts to go. And he loses his balance, and he drops it down this ravine into a river. And I mean, it wasn't like a big river, but it was like, mountain creek. And so like we pull it up, and I'm like looking at it, I'm like, my dad's going to murder me.
Oh, yeah,
Like
that's
I'm dead. Like
Yeah.
that's it. And it turned out like it was just like a little bit of fiberglass damage. He let me paint it. It was fine. But it was just like, ever since then, I was like, I'm going to have one of those, but it's not going to be perfect because I want to fuck it up myself.
Yeah, you want to have fun with it.
Yeah,
you don't want a perfect bike.
I had a buddy of mine who would swear, he said he would paint a bike, and the first thing he would do was he'd take it out in the middle of the street, wick it, and throw it. They said as long as you had to have the first scratch on it, otherwise you'd be waiting for it.
Yeah, I have been there. I have watched perfectly restored bikes literally in my driveway, and so stressed out, hundreds of hours into it, and then be like, this is going to happen. This is eventually going to happen. Sooner or later, it's going to happen. And you're like, okay, well, here we go. Let's start riding this thing. And within a day or two, somebody opens a fucking car door into it. Within a day or two, somebody does something stupid.
I had a buddy do a full-on restoration on an old Husky motocross bike, and he put it in his front yard on a milk crate to take a picture of it.
Oh.
And it fell off the milk crate. He hadn't even ridden it yet.
Shit.
And it did the tank hit a big rock and put a big dent in the aluminum tank.
That's no fun.
Well, I had a really nice red CB750 for a time, and every time I'd ride it, I'd be like, oh, I got a little it was perfect when I first got it, and I cleaned it all up, but it would get a little scratch here, and I'm like, I ended up I got good money for it at Mid-Ohio, and
this is why I only ever own garbage.
Well, I mean, there's something to be said.
Everything I have is garbage.
Right. There's something to be said for just having bikes that you're comfortable with and just being okay. I
try to generally clean them up as best as I can and take care of them, but I do prefer to not have it be perfect.
Yeah. So if you guys want to, real quick,
are you having PTSD flashbacks?
You're killing my OCD with this non-perfect bike.
Cinch has to take everything to 11.
You're the one who perfectly painted your track bike.
I know,
right? I mean, come on.
Hey, Sleepy, you realize the bed and the cab of your truck are not the same color gold, right?
Yeah,
I know.
Anybody want to buy a 64 Triumph Bonneville?
Oh, here you go.
It's perfect.
Yeah, I know.
Well, now I don't want it.
So perfect, you've never even ridden it. We've never even seen it.
I've seen it.
That's shameful.
Is it a T100?
That's shameful.
Or is it T120?
120.
Okay, T120. All right.
Not just a T120.
Is it the golden white?
Yes.
If it's yours, it's the nicest probably one in the U.S. right now.
Wow.
The sickest fucking T120.
Well, this might be the worst time to sell it, though. So
that golden white is the color too.
Yeah, I mean, this is just for training purposes. I guess you want to throw this picture up.
Yeah, Dan's look like Dan's look like it came off the fucking factory show floor. Fucking, it's insane.
Yeah. I got a 71, and I'm gonna die with it. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Wasn't that from Will Stone?
Never buy a perfect bike.
So yeah, you're trying to sell yours. Sounds like you're trying to sell yours.
Someday, not this year.
Oh, not this year. You're gonna wait for the market to come back up.
Phil,
I'm not dead yet.
You're not going to die with that Triumph. You know Joe Casola.
No, and again, which means I'll sell it at a massive loss. Right. That's exactly right. Yeah, these are beautiful. They're absolutely gorgeous.
Does that still have the left side or right? Wait, I can't remember. Reverse shift.
Right side shift.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what do you? I mean,
second year of unit construction.
Unit construction. Okay. Exactly. Right. Yeah. It's
so it doesn't leak oil all the time.
As much. Yeah.
Well, you know the old joke, right?
Yeah. Right.
You know the old joke, right?
If there's no oil spot,
there's no oil in it. There's no oil in it.
Right. So this particular bike sold for 5,520 pounds, right, in 2023. So
it's like $15,000 American.
It's about $6,000
freedom units,
right? Yeah,
that's it,
right? So depending on what year it was, in 2023, the exchange rate was a little different, but yeah, 5,520 pounds, right? Yeah, that's not a giant pile of money. I think that's a fairly reasonable amount of money for this gorgeous, clean bike. How long have you had yours, Dan?
Oh, 5 or 6 years.
5 or 6 years. Holy
But Dan,
shit.
your bike is also perfect for one of these big auctions because it has the promenage of being done. by that
provenance?
Fucking guy. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. That word. It's got
Promenade.
the P word.
The prom fromage.
It's Providence with cheese.
Yes, it is.
Can I smell your provenance?
Using words and talking ain't my thing. man.
Delicious smelling provenance.
No, but like seriously,
Sleepy, do you need one of those THC drinks?
yeah. Bring it on. I've had a few. No, but the thing is, though, is that like that is perfect for one of those fucking auctions because you have the guy that built it. It's fucking, like
I don't
bring a
trust an
magnifying glass and look at it perfect. You know, I think you'd be surprised on what you're going to get.
I don't
that
trust an
fucking thing.
auction, and I'll just tell you that right off the bat because I would put my bike up there and it'd be like, oh, and it would sell for $1,500, and I'd be fucking pissed.
Yes,
That happens.
exactly.
No reserve would never be me. No fucking way.
Yeah,
There's a member at Skidmark that took a bike to Meekum, and it was a Triumph, and lost her ass on it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that is not a guaranteed thing. And I try to tell people, I'm like, just because you see a bike going for 300, 400K at Meekum does not mean you're going to show up with whatever you got.
I mean, eBay exists, right?
eBay exists. That's
So
exactly
put
right.
it up on eBay for like a 30-day listing, and then go around and go to every Triumph group you can and market the shit out of it,
Right.
and you're going to get as good as money as you can get at Meekum, probably.
Yeah, and the one that I've got is I've got the TR6R, and the TR6R is a bike I bought from Will Stoner, and this is just a photographic image. This is not the bike itself for obvious reasons, but this is the way my bike would have looked when it left the factory. The bike I bought from Will Stoner has experienced 55 years of sunshine. That green metallic tank that is on there has now faded to the point of being the exact color of like 1950s Soviet vehicles. It is just completely.
That is totally accurate. Yes.
Completely.
That's such a good description.
There is no luster to it. There is nothing about it that's like, oh, I'm so sexy. It is like, no, we make motorcycle work now.
Yeah.
It is, the color on it is just lost all of its sparkle. That you could see when you look at it in places, there's still the metallic is in there, or the glitter is in there. But the color has just gone away. The pigment has just left the building.
It's in Bermuda.
It's just like, you're like, oh, that's a shade of vomit. Yeah, it is. That's exactly what it is. And I bought it because it's Will Stoner, and it's a Triumph Crate race motor. So the motor, whatever motor was in it, is not in it anymore. So whereas his bike is correct and the numbers match and it's a restoration and everything else, my bike is a bastard because it's got a TR6R factory crate racing motor in it that has never met the frame prior to this installation. So it is exactly what it is. I have ridden it exactly once.
Which means it's due for a rebuild.
It sucked. It was fucking awful. It was fucking awful. And I did all the tricks. Fully charged battery, right? I've had a bunch of Triumphs before. I had a bunch of BS. I understand how to ride these motorcycles. I understand the shifting is on the wrong side. I understand all that. This motorcycle wasn't happy at any position of the choke. I tried. And if it was happy at a quarter of a choke, you're like, okay, get it started, keep it alive, get everything warmed up. That's a 4 or 5 minute ritual. So now we should be able to ride away. I've got it down to about a quarter choke, eighth of a choke, and it's sitting there, dup, 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 dup. As soon as I put that thing into gear, just the inertia, just the energy of dropping it into gear, dude. Okay, no big deal. We can restart it. No, you can't.
No, you can't.
No, you can't. You got one start. You get one start, and then the conditions are not right for restarting.
No,
it is either too rich or it is either too lean, but it is not where it's supposed to be. So basically, you just give it 2 or 3 kicks, and if it doesn't relight, turn everything off and go home.
Yeah. It's time for tea.
Go home. Go home.
Carbs suck.
Let it dry out. Yeah, that's right. Fuck carbs. Yeah.
I'll drink to that.
Yeah. This motorcycle was so upsetting to me that I did get it about 3 miles away from the shop. Yeah. I don't have one. I got it 3 miles away from the shop, and I said, if it dies again, I'm not even going to kick it. It's mostly downhill from here. And I just gave it a nice push, and I just walked alongside of it because I will say this, drum brakes do push very nicely. Give me drum brakes over disc brakes any day of the week of a motorcycle that I'm pushing, right? And I pushed that cocksucker.
I bet you that's not a review you see in many magazines.
Drum brakes, 5 stars, easier to push. Right?
5 stars.
No drag, easier to push.
Yep.
And I was bringing it down, and I got to a little bit of a hill before the shop, and I was like, I think this is it. I think we've had enough time for it to air out. I'm going to reach down. I'm going to turn the fuel on. I'm going to throw the switch. And I'm going to go for it. And I let the clutch out in second gear, and it gave one loud pop. It just stopped dead in its tracks. And it was like, what the fuck, dude? No lube? You're trying to, like, come on.
That's what we talked about.
We have rules. We have rules.
I'm not running today.
That bike fucking hate fucked me. And I got it back in the shop. I took the spark plugs out. Pulled the spark plugs out of it. Let some air get through it, the whole deal. Just made sure it was completely dried out. Went back out 3 days later, put the spark plugs back in, turned the gas on, gave it the choke, gave it one kick, and it was just like, duk, 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 duk. I was like, no, fuck you, I'm not riding you.
It's a trap. It's a
fuck
trap.
You. Yeah, that's a trick.
It's a trap.
It was just a trick to get me a decent distance away from the shop, so I'd have to push it back. Yeah. And it was literally, it's like the bike might as well be like going on a keto diet. It's just there for your exercise. It's there for your physical health so you can get a workout. So I hope yours is a lot better than this one.
Oh, no, it's horrible.
No, his is nice.
No. It's never ran. Never ride them.
It's unknown.
Oh, it's known to the rest of us.
It's unknown.
There's a reason why I've worked on British bikes for 30 years, but I own one from 2005.
Yeah, I was gonna say now that they're made in
Oh yeah,
So Dan's bike is
Thailand,
beautiful.
fucking awesome.
It's gorgeous.
Yes, that's
It's perfectly mint.
As long as you don't ride it.
But it's run less than my piece of shit.
Just don't ride the fucking things.
That's a beautiful bike, Dan. But how's it run? It's a beautiful bike.
It's a beautiful bike. Oh, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, I
Put it on a shelf.
I have
Never
enough
touch
friends that have success riding bikes like this one that I know that this is just a matter of me spending some time with it.
Yeah. The first thing you do is you take the AMOL carburetor and toss it in the fucking trash and put a Mikuni on it. And the second thing you do is put electronic ignition on it. The third thing you do is reverse.
Sell it and buy a fuel injected bike.
Tell it and buy the same year Japanese bike that runs every time. Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah,
That's why every time I look at the Ambassador up on the lift and I see the word AMOL on it, I get angry.
Oh,
right.
And Kurt Edwards was posting something about something in one of the groups, and somebody said they were looking for an ambassador, and I said ClevelandMoto has two at some point.
We got a deal for you. You want a threefer?
Somebody was looking.
He's looking for a Moto Guzzi ambassador. Yeah. There's 3 of them rolling around here.
Yeah, so I said
a threefer, we got you covered.
I said I think he might have something up in the ClevelandMoto zone, man.
And you could literally be like, I don't care if it's pretty. And we'll be like, okay, we got one. And he'll be like, no, not that fucked up. Right? So we've got like Tom's silver one. We couldn't even make it leave Mid-Ohio.
Yeah.
Like we tried. Like we aggressively tried to sell that bike at Mid-Ohio, and nobody wanted to acquire that rattle can Splendor that is that bike. And again, might be the greatest running ambassador in the world.
It's not.
Like Dan says, we don't know. Right?
As far as you know.
And then we have 2 others that are in my shop right now that showed up under their own power.
Oh. Ran when parked?
Yeah. Yeah, they ran before we interfered with them.
Well, yeah, I remember when the red one drove in.
I rode the fucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I rode it around. And then Tom was like, this tyranny shall not stand.
I made the mistake of saying, well, I'll just replace the rear main seal and then the flywheel.
I was like, it was running. It was, everything worked. Electric start, and go take it for a ride.
Yeah, and then I tried to start it and the freaking flywheel was all sheared.
Again, always worked for me. Yeah. Don't know what happened. I went from being like, I got one great runner intact that we can use as a model to build the other one out because the guy that took the one apart doesn't work for me anymore. And so the guy that was working, I was like, well, put that bike back together. And he was like, well, I didn't take it apart. I was like, well, when was that a rule? Like,
It's all in a bucket now. What's your problem?
I didn't know that was a rule. Right. Yeah. I was like, put that puzzle back together. Well, I didn't take it apart.
Yeah, I don't think I ever got to use that rule.
Exactly.
First thing I had to do, the one that was put your bike back
The funny part is it's all rolled downhill to me now, and I'm like, all right.
Well, none of us knew that was even an excuse you could use. Nobody ever said like, I didn't like, that's a new discovery of like judo, like mental judo in a motorcycle shop. It's like, you put that bike back together, but I didn't take it apart. Factual statement.
And he's like, customer brought in the bike, it's broken.
Right.
I didn't fucking break it.
Again, I've been doing this a long time. I was not aware that there was a get out of jail free card. I had no idea that I could just walk up to a bike and be like, well, I didn't take it apart. Well, no kidding. Yeah. I bought a Lego kit. I didn't take that bitch apart either, but you're making me put it together. You know? Yeah. Oh, fuck. Yeah, it's just, that's what happens, man. Motorcycles get taken apart. I promise you. The number of times I've walked away from bikes and boxes, it's a lot. Yeah. I mean, it's a whole lot.
That's when they're really cheap.
Fuck yeah, dude. When somebody, Chris Smith and I went out and we got a Moto Guzzi, it wasn't a T3, it was the cheaper version. So it was like a Moto Guzzi like T2. It was like, it didn't have all the T's because the T's were the number of disc brakes on the bike.
Now the 3 is the number of disc brakes on the bike.
Right, exactly.
So it's just a T.
Right.
That's what I have. So be careful.
Well, but there's a 3T.
There was a T. There was the 850T.
850T.
Exactly.
And then there was, and it was for a year. The 850T was only for a year.
Yeah.
It was 75.
75. That's what we got.
That's what I have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other T was in the box.
Yeah.
Well, and the reason that they did the T3, right, is that the T didn't stop.
Well, yeah.
and mine has a sidecar on it.
Oh shit!
It really doesn't.
Really,
stop.
It super duper doesn't stop.
Yeah,
I would keep an anchor in that sidecar.
Yeah,
it's bad.
Yeah, Chris and I went out into a gorgeous, cute little town that hasn't seen a dollar bill in at least 25 years, and we went into a bakery and bought 6.5 boxes of Moto Guzzi tea, and these. You know,
$12,
and
like,
there
was a lot of sympathy involved.
It came with a free loaf of bread.
I overspent because there's a good story, and I will overspend for a good story.
Yeah.
And there were people. We bought it from the adult woman that rode on that motorcycle when she was 3 years old. Right, 3 years old,
which was the last time it ran. Potentially, but
it was one of those ones where I went in there and I was like, I'm going to buy this motorcycle for like $100, right? And when we got there, it turned out to even be worse than that because it was like, okay, I've been around motorcycles long enough that if you show me, a room-sized pile of parts, I can tell you which parts aren't there.
This thing was a gut pile.
It was 4 gut piles.
Oh God!
In 3 different rooms. And that was the problem, is it was in 3 different rooms.
There's a reason why I say you'll have to leave $1,000 deposit to abandon this thing at the shop.
Yeah. And Chris and I kept pulling parts out of the place and putting them in the back of the truck in a snowstorm. And the lady kept bringing more parts out.
Yeah, there's some over in this room over here.
And I was just like, and I'm going through and I'm like, I still haven't seen the rear shaft drive assembly. It's an important part. And so Chris and I had to go back in and we're looking under ovens and looking under, cabinets and shit. And we eventually found them, like to the point where my brain was like, okay, those are all the parts that you need to build a Moto Guzzi 850. Yeah. Apparently though, we didn't find the other 2 disc brakes. Because that cocksucker is still got a drum on the back and only one on the front.
Yep.
So yeah. So It is definitely, and the bike is still in pieces, but all the pieces now are at least in my little fun German trailer.
I'd say at least they're not in 7 rooms.
Right, they're not. They're not in 7 rooms. They're all in 1 room.
Well, the best part is if you drive fast enough down the interstate, they'll just fall out of the back of the trailer.
Oh yeah. Well, the trailer's not speed rated for anything above 50, so we're good. We're safe.
Neither was the T.
Handsome motorcycle. Shane,
Oh, they're beautiful. Yeah, that's right.
You know what the best part about working at the shop is right now? You can look at that 850T and all those piles.
Yeah.
And you can look at the V7 and go, I'll just buy the fucking V7.
Well, yeah. Yes. Yeah, of course. That's definitely.
I spent 15 years trying to build a T3.
Oh, T3? Yeah.
And I finally traded it for a Buddy 125.
Seems like a fair deal. Honestly, that's
Fuck this shit.
That's probably the only smart thing you've ever done in your life.
right. Yeah.
No, I did move to Cleveland.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. No, because things were so much better for you in New Orleans. I was there. Don't lie to me. I was there.
He's like, I haven't been shot in like over.
Oh my God. My car hasn't been broken into yet. Nobody has stolen shit out of my garage.
The bricks holding your house up had no mortar.
Right?
Wait, did they steal that too?
And the only hurricane was a possible drink at Porco's.
Exactly.
So like, you're getting fucking good.
Jesus Christ. Seriously, not 65 feet from his front door, the concrete, concrete comes in slabs. That's how they make a sidewalk. His concrete had decided to roll over in its sleep, leaving a giant crevasse that went down to the 3rd level of hell, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much.
And to make sure nobody fell in there, they put 1 broken traffic cone in it.
That Becky fell over.
And this is one of those things that you're like, if this hole, this 4-foot by 5-foot hole, which I don't even know how that happens. I have no idea how you can put an entire massive sidewalk, 1 piece of like 600 pounds of concrete, can just go vertical one day.
So Phil.
Yeah.
And to listeners at home.
Yeah.
If you ever want to know how bad it is, because that's not even as worse as it gets, look at this fucking street on Instagram. I think they have one on Facebook as well. But it's look at this fucking street, and it's all the crazy shit on the streets in New Orleans, like the abandoned streets that are now growing, trees in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
And 2 or 3 days ago, they had a huge water main break uptown on like Panola or something. And this Honda, you look at the aftermath, there's a Honda Camry buried up to its doors in the street.
I guess the cautionary.
I was going to say, was there like a rainstorm and that happened when all the caskets started popping up out of the ground?
That happens sometimes.
You ever look at the liquefaction map for New Orleans?
Yes. Oh yeah,
it's not good. No.
Just like, we came out of Tom's
Happy
house.
Mardi Gras, everybody.
And I was like, there's Tom's house. It's a relatively normal street. And there's this cute bar at the corner. And I was like, yeah, we're going to the cute bar. That's fucking awesome. I love cute bars. Let's go in there and do some damage. Let's go have some lunch. And we're walking, and Tom's like, be careful you don't step in the hole. I was like, it's not a fucking hole, dude. It's a crevasse. This is a crevasse. There's like a team of spelunkers that went in there 37 years ago that have never been found.
They're still mapping it.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to tell you, to give you an idea how big it is, you could throw a fully stuffed United States Army duffel bag into that hole. No questions asked. It would clear the whole way in. There, like, you had nothing but sunshine around it. And I was like, how long has this been like this?
6 months at least. They had started redoing the street. Like when Becky showed up, they put up signs and said,
we'll be doing a street project here.
We'll be doing a street project for the next couple of weeks.
Right.
And she's like, "Oh, you're not gonna be able to get in your driveway for like 3 or 4 weeks." I said, 3 or 4 weeks? It's going to be 4 years.
Yeah.
And she's like, there's no fucking way. I said, no, you watch.
No, a whole other society had already developed in that hole. And there is no doubt in my mind that if we went there back now today, that hole would still be
they
be right there.
Secret cave.
They redid the sidewalks.
Like the Corvette
and then
Museum.
they tore up the street. And then when they tore up the street, they tore up the sidewalks again. So they redid the sidewalks 3 times.
Yeah, but I'm just saying,
and
like,
they still weren't right.
That's where you live, which is it. Yeah,
and everybody's like,
right.
Everybody's like, What do you mean? What do you mean you didn't have a dry? You're not going to have a driveway for 3 weeks. I said no, 3 years.
Nah, it's
Like I'm never going to have a street again.
it's the whole thing's a moot point. That's like really, yeah. That's
But happy Mardi Gras.
happy
everybody.
Mardi Gras. Everybody go to New Orleans. It's gonna be great. Yeah, y'all move down there.
Remember,
right quick.
tip your bartender.
Right. Oh god.
That's the funny part is watching our New Orleans on Reddit, and all of the people that are like, "I'm done with New York City. I'm moving to New Orleans." I'm like, sucker.
I brought one up for John to look at because I thought this might be relevant to John's interests. Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool looking. So, modern Honda CB1100,
I'm digging
but
that.
Yeah.
done in the Flying Dragon paint livery.
Digging that.
I think it's a cool looking bike.
No way.
No way.
No way.
It's fucking cool. That's a cool looking bike. That's a good reminder when you own a motorcycle and you're trying to figure out how you want to paint it. Flying Dragon is always an option. And they've got the dip tanks now where you can just dip that stuff in that water solution and same effect,
Yeah.
done in 20 minutes. Yeah. Super cool. I like
Okay,
that.
Interesting.
Yeah, I thought that was neat. Kind of a cool thing. Anybody else got anything else?
So 2 nuns.
Hang on.
Ladies
go.
and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, the one and only Chris Smith, all the way from Lakewood, Ohio, braving the cold, braving the weather, and not even consuming any beer tonight. Let's give him a hand, ladies and gentlemen.
So
Give it up.
So 2 nuns are riding their bicycles around the back streets of Rome. One nun looks over at the other and says, I've never come this way before. The other nun replies, must be the cobblestones.
Yep.
That's right, kids. He only does one show a night.
Yeah. Thank God.
Well, that's great, man. Well, Marshall, thank you so much for coming out, man.
Hey, thanks for having me,
See you in the
guys.
shop. That was great. In case you guys don't know, Marshall is a researcher for, what did we say that was? We said
The Rare Cancer Research Foundation.
the Rare Cancer Research Foundation. And I was joking earlier that in my life I've consumed so much of just their products. I have PB blastoma. That's my official cancer that I've got. But it is the rare cancers thing is wow, and we're glad you came out to Cleveland. That was really great having you on the show. Super
Yeah,
cool.
it's great to be here.
Dude, I totally feel like my status and being like a less of a scumbag has increased by being in proximity to one.
Yeah, it's like
If I was
Dr. Thompson.
what kind of good do you do for the world, Sleepy?
I mean, I don't know.
Do you research rare cancers?
No.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
I don't think I've contributed anything valuable at all. Maybe.
I helped a lady change a tire once.
Yeah, well, that's
Side of the road.
That's excellent.
I feel like I got me something.
Yeah.
I did go through the door at the, Vatican. So,
You're clear. You're clear. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sin free, but I don't have anything in the plus column.
Fuck, I didn't even marry a Catholic girl. I'm hosed, man. Fuck.
All right. Well, you guys, great night tonight. John, remember to ride fast and take chances. Play us out here, Johnny.
Bum, 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 bum.